Happy Valentine's Day, everyone. Welcome to the Lesson 20 ToKini Andy Kanji live stream.
はい。今日は皆さんのために私たちは愛いっぱいのピンクと赤の服で参りました。
Yuki said, today for everyone, we've worn red and pink. Just in case you didn't notice the bright red and pink. Yeah. All right, so the picture that Yuki was working on during the premiere today. Here it is. Let's see if everyone can figure out what's going on here. And if you can read some of the stuff that's popping up. I think we've seen everything in this picture so far. All of the kanji, that is. You should definitely remember some of them at least. A fitting color for the day, says Morbid Blessing. Yay, finally made it to one of these, says Erosu. Erosu-san, welcome to the stream. Glad you can make it. Happy heart with an arrow through it day, says Five Toes Sloth Bear. Happy that day, yes. All right, guys. Let's start here. What is this kanji on the shirt that I assume is mine? Isn't G character? Yes, it's a character as in like a letter. It's like it's a single letter on my shirt. All right, what about this one? We've got 3 of these. They're a bit stylized, so it might be hard to see, but I'm pretty sure you can pick it up. You're so good at drawing. Yes, she is. She's very good at drawing.
ありがとうございます。
We got G there. What's this one? Hana, says Ali. Yes, that is correct. Alsabi got it up there as the kanji. Good. Flower. Kawaii. And Alsabi, yes, you've got that one. We've got kusa. We've got a bunch of weeds around the flowers for some reason. It's a bouquet of flowers and weeds.
つけなきゃいけないんだから一応ね、花だけでブーケ作らないんだから。
You can't just have flowers. You have to have weeds as well.
そう。
My cat's name is Hana. Nice. VVV, says Alsabi. Bouquet of Hana.
アンディのさ、トゥーンタウンオンラインのさ、ペットの名前もハンナじゃん。
そうだっけ？
ハンナだよね。
ハンナだっけ？I can't remember. It might be. Yuki said my pet in Toontown Online is also named Flower. 本当？
そうだよ。ハンナだよ。
Okay. It might be. It might be Hana. I can't remember. Why are those flowers laughing so hard? It's a good question. I think the weeds are laughing at the flowers because they're so big. And they're white on the inside with a red border. Those flowers look funny.
ここが一番重要なんですよ、ここ。
This is not a kanji at all. This is you, apparently. So I guess I'm presenting you with a bouquet of flowers on this Happy Valentine Day.
あ、そう。なんかちょっとフレーズ考えたんですけど、発表してもいい？
Yuki thought of a phrase and she's asking if it's okay if she tells us what that phrase is. Of course it's okay. Rolla's Game says, just wanted to thank you guys for the beginner kanji series paired with Wanikani. It's helping me tons. I'm so happy to hear that. That's great. We've only got 3 lessons left. We've got this is lesson 20, right? So then there's 21, 22, 23. And then we're right on over to the word videos, which I've already got the first one of those scripted, and I'm about to film it today after this video. So, or after this live stream. So that's exciting. Andy offering the flowers to me, says Morbid Blessing. Yes. Okay. So Yuki has our phrase. She's going to present it right now. What do you got? Oh, you're going to show it below. Okay. Will you guys be our kanji time? Kanji time? Will you guys be our kanji time?
あれ、バレンはオルタナティブですよね。
どういうこと？
バレンティーンの、バレンの部分はオルタナティブ。
まあわかるよ。何してるか。Will you guys be our kanji team? LOLin. Chris says, I'm really thankful with you. Your courses are so helpful. I'm in high school and I'm not able to afford Japanese or more specifically kanji courses. Thanks for your job. You're the best. You're welcome, Chris. I'm glad that you're enjoying them. Thanks, Andy said Stonefish. You're welcome. I hope you got some flowers and chocolate. She did indeed get some flowers. In Japan for Valentine's Day, it's traditional for the girls to make chocolate for the boys. Not just necessarily the significant others, though. They make chocolate for every guy that they think they have to give chocolate to. Like at work, they'll have to give it to 15 different people. But anyway, so Yuki made a nice chocolate cake / brownie thing yesterday, which is very nice. And we went out to a nice lunch, and I got flowers. No, I didn't get flowers. I did this. So heart button now says coming to Japan Dan. Yes, indeed. Hit that button that thing right there. That's great, Yuki. Yuki upping her pun game. Yes. I have a question. Should I learn kanji readings in isolation? Seems like nobody has a solid answer. Of course not. No, I have a very solid answer to that. If you watch the introduction video to this series, I go on for a while about how that is definitely like a terrible idea. Yeah, no, don't do that. Learn words that use the kanji and basically don't worry about what the readings are. You'll pick those up over time just by learning words that have the kanji in them. I'll be in the first video in a couple weeks, like a month and a week, I guess. So five-ish weeks, 4-ish weeks. I can't remember. I'll be breaking down how I would go about learning words and breaking them down with you guys, so that you can figure out how like I would learn to read all these kanji and how I did learn to read a bunch of these kanji. So no, don't learn readings in isolation. That's silly. When is White Day again? That's March 14th.
So, 惜しい. Not
Close.
15th.
15th. 14th. 14th. Dan, your wife's going to get mad. You missed it by a day.
間違えちゃう
March 15th is the Ides of March, right? The 14th is White Day. Oh, oops. Then White Day. Yeah, the 14th is, so White Day is, so like I said, in Japan, girls give chocolate to the boys on Valentine's Day. And then on March 14th, that's called White Day. The boys give back, what is it, triple?
そうそう
I think it's triple what they received. So like if they received chocolates from like 5 different girls, which is very common because, you know, they give them to everyone, they have to buy 3 times that amount for each of the people they got it from. So if they got 5 boxes of chocolate, they have to buy like basically 15 boxes of chocolate, or like, you know, bigger boxes of chocolate. That's tradition. Not everyone does it, but that's White Day.
でも私それさ、アンディがその、あれ、ホワイトデーをリサーチしてから知った。
I knew about it before I met you.
あ、そう、あのトライポーで。
Yeah, definitely.
いいな。
She didn't know about that.
私今まで損してたんだ。
Lotte must love that day. I'm pretty sure they made it. They probably made that day. Hey, is Black Day on April 14th an actual thing? I've never heard about that.
あ、
from what
あ、
I've heard.
何その、なんだっけ、バレンタインズ、ホワイト、ブラックデーもあるってこと？
I've never heard of that, but maybe.
でもさ、5月はさ、グリーンデーがあるよね。
There's a band called Green Day.
まあそうね。まあ
5月.
さ、確かに。
Awesome. Thank you so much. What's a White Day? Is Anki a good way to study vocab? And sorry for all of these questions. Yeah, White Day is, I just explained it. So it's the day for giving back to people you received Valentines from. And Anki is a good way to study vocabulary, at least for your first like 6 months to a year. I usually abandon it after that. I'm now remembering the listening and shouting exercises about White Day. There you go. Konnichiwa, Duck Hops. Welcome to the stream. I love the band Midori. Ryokuhi. Ryokubi.
緑の日だよ、緑の日。
緑の日。
うん。
Nice. The band, ne? Midori no hi.
そう。
Do you have the time to listen to me whine about kanji and everything difficult about them? That was bad.
そうだね。じゃあみんな、we should honor kanji that on that day ですね。
そうだね。はい。
Green Day.
Copyright strike. Boom.
やばい。
Thanks for the answer. I only heard it was so thought someone made it up and wanted to check. I mean, maybe it could be a thing. I have no idea. I've just never heard of it. I've never had a Valentine. I almost had one once, but she broke up with me on V-Day after I gave her a diamond necklace. Woo! Well, that sucks. Jeez. What can we pop in chat? We could put this face for Al-Sabi. Kanashii ne. What's your favorite kanji? So actually one of the ones, we can actually jump into the video on that, because one of my favorite ones is the first kanji that we covered today. I really, really like this kanji. And also the final kanji. So from today, tall, or high up. I actually really like writing that kanji. I find it super easy to remember. I don't know why. I like that one too. But I'm not sure what my favorite one is. There's so many. Kanji day. Yeah. So I guess we can just jump into it, because it's a very, very this is like popping over there.
Ah, ずれてる。
Let's move it slowly back. There we go. Maybe one more touch. Okay.
はい。
Hopefully there's no black screen. Okay, now it looks good. Okay, so anyway, yeah, so this first kanji, ito, is one of my favorite ones. I think one of them. I don't know. There's so many kanji. Welcome to the 20th ToKini Andy Kanji lesson. Today we're going to cover the meaning. How's the sound on the video today, guys? I know it was way too loud last time. Building blocks, writing, historical evolution where applicable, and a story to memorize each of the following kanji. We'll also... Is that utsu?
So, utsu.
My favorite kanji is utsu, says Morbid Blessing. Learn the parts and radicals needed for those kanji. Today, isn't there a kanji with an insane number of strokes? Might be fun to see it live chat sometime. That's probably just the one that a Morbid Blessing popped up right there. Utsu. Utsu. We could write utsu. Eh?
マジでちょっと待ってね。本当にちょっと消していいのこれ。
She's gonna erase.
もうドキドキしてきたわもう。
You don't have to be perfect. I'll pull it up for you.
やばい、ちょっと書けないよ。
I think I can write it.
すごい。じゃあどうぞ先どうぞ。
Alright, I'm gonna try, guys. Okay. Let's get utsu. Torture. Here comes Andy's torture. I'm gonna move over here a little bit. Let's see. Oh no, I think I've already started wrong. Sorry. Yeah, no, you start from the middle. Then you come back over here. Then you come over here. Okay. And then you got to put the crown there. And then I believe you go into this. So you put we're going to learn this part today. And then you have to do all the little dots around it. I think you go here, 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 here. And then you close it up with a box like that. And then you come down here and put a spoon, which we've learned as well. And then you do these strokes. So we've actually learned, after today, we will have learned almost every part we need except for this. So that was not pretty, but let's try again. Boom, 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 boom. Can? We haven't done can. But we got the top and the bottom. We've got the top and the bottom. If we break it up, we do have all those parts, I guess. And then, what's this? Close it up. Spoon. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, so there's my utsu. Utsu ne, utsu. Hi, and then let's have Yuki go ahead and draw that. Hmm? 合ってるよ。合ってる合ってる。合ってる合ってる。合ってる。
このストロークのやつが全然わかりません。
ああ、そういうことね。
何番が先なのか。
Okay, here comes Yuki's version.
書けない。でもさ、これスーパーチーティングだから行く。
She's gonna check out the
そうもう
the stroke diagram while writing it.
ここまではいいでしょ。
That's all fine.
こうでしょ。
Pretty much the same level as your audio.
こうでしょ。その後さ、
逆無 or something like that.
この後さ、このこうだ。
そう。今日学ぶやつ。The one we do today. Then you do the dots on the right, down here. Then the box below it.
そうだったんだね。知らなかった私。ちゃんと見なきゃいけませんね、本当。で、こうだよね。
This one's 29 strokes. 84 strokes. Is that a real kanji?
できました。
It's crazy how your first kanji video with general rules for stroke order has really made remembering how to write these pretty accessible. As always, thanks for You're welcome. I'm glad to hear that. Daito, taito, has 84 strokes apparently. I have a feeling that's not gonna pop up. Daito. I don't know. Can you type it? I have a feeling there's this thing nowadays called they're made up kanji that are like super complicated. So it could be one of those that you're talking about. I've seen like YouTubers put like the craziest kanji, and it's like 50 of the same kanji just smushed together, and they're not like real. So it's possible that it's fake, but it has its own Wikipedia page. Yeah, it's a kokuji. Interesting. Have to check that out later.
習ったことないんで。
Yeah, I don't think Yuki hasn't learned that one.
習ったことないんでわかりませんね、私。
But yeah, that's pretty crazy. 84 strokes. Good thing we don't need that one anymore. There are 6 new parts. 6 new parts. So here's that part that was in the box in the kanji we just did over here. So right there, that part.
私のプリティビューティフォードローイングが
More
鬱
parts
になっ
than
ちゃって
kanji.
Her beautiful
Well,
drawing
stick
became
around
depression.
to the end of the lesson where we'll be doing a quick quiz
Oh, good,
to
oh,
help
good, oh, good.
everything stick. But no, it's fine. It's cool to learn things like that. By the way,
ね
check out the pinned comment below this video to see why we are not learning readings for each kanji just yet. The hardest kanji for me to write is onna, woman. And for Yuki too, she's saying onna is the hardest kanji for me to write.
ちょっ
I'm
とさっ
terrible
きの
at it.
漢字調べます
Yuki's gonna look up that kanji. So I've gotten a little bit better since doing this series. Nope, that was not gonna be any good. Oh, it's not so bad. I did okay on that one, but not really. I'm so bad at drawing this kanji. Okay, that one's not so bad. This is the hardest one for me, like 100%. Oh, Yuki found it. Okay. Oh, it's cloud, 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 dragon, dragon, dragon. Oh, that's cool. Okay, let's write it. The one that Five-Toed Sloth Bear is talking about. That's not so bad. Yeah,
で
Yuki,
も
you can
さ
write it
こ
over
れ
here.
さ
I'll write it over
ど
here.
れが一番最初かなこれ
Ah.
竜雲竜竜
I
か
feel like
な
it's gonna be Kumo, 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 Ryu, Ryu, Ryu.
でもさ竜がさ真ん中のやつ
うん
は後に書くことは
Can
な
you
いと
send me
思
the
う
link? Can you send me the link so we can show it to everyone? All right, I'll pop that up over here. Okay, that's gonna be me. And then she's sending me the link now. Let's see. Sorry, I know I said I was gonna do the video. I'm not logged into Discord on this computer right now, so that's not gonna work. Yeah, for some reason. Discord. Boom. Onna looks so simple, but the shape is difficult for some reason. Yeah, oh, it's so hard. I have to be careful with haha. Yeah, I find haha is not terrible. I don't know why. It's similar to onna, but not quite like the same type of difficulty for me, I guess. Okay, so here we go. Yuki sent me this. Oh, you found the stroke order?
多分なんですけどこの出てくる下に、
うん
そのリンクのページの下に出てくる
Okay, we're gonna show you guys.
古い
So
や
this
つ
is the
バー
kanji.
ジョン
It's
これ
cloud, 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 dragon, dragon, dragon.
多分これが雲
This was
雲
the
雲
original. Okay.
多分シャシャシャみたいな
Yeah,
感じの順番だ
So
よ
it's like a triple. So there's a kanji that I'll pop in chat right now. It's jokingly read as sha sha sha, but it's actually todoroki.
そう
Todoroki. It's a common name.
はい
And it's 3 cars. And a lot of people will jokingly misread that as sha sha sha. I thought I came up with that joke, but then one of the silly characters, Nendo in Saiki K, read it as that, as like the name of a restaurant, and they were saying you got to go to Todoroki, and he's like, what, that place is called sha sha sha, that's not it, or something like that. I can't remember. Anyway, so this kanji over here was originally
はい
cloud, 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 dragon, dragon, dragon. So this is separate kanji, and then they came together. They were put together into this crazy thing. So that's got 84 strokes.
すげえ
Pretty wild. So anyway, you would write that definitely cloud, 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 dragon, 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 like that in the inside.
でも結構簡単だよねだってさ
Yeah, it's definitely
雲
not hard.
とさね竜をさ覚えたらさ
Yeah, if you
もう
learn
書けちゃうよ
if you learn the individual kanji, which aren't that difficult. Cloud is we're gonna learn this rain in a couple days or in a couple weeks. So you got rain there, eh? And then below it is this part, which is for cloud. So that's cloud, and then dragon is a bit more complicated, but it's got very what would you call it? Doktoku, unique parts like this
あー
right
そ
here.
こ
So that, and then you come over here. So you got this weird like 5,
うん
and then you sweep down here, and then boom, boom. So
3だと思うけど
is it
ブン
three?
ブンブン
oh yeah, it's 3. Okay, so there's an extra one right there. So if you learn those 2 kanji, then it's just a matter of putting them all together. It probably takes a long time to write, but let's see if I can do it. And then you come over here, eh? And then you have to write the dragon inside. And then 2 dragons down here. Oh, I probably made that too big.
なんかさテストの時さ時間かかっちゃうよね
Yeah, it would take a very long time to write this for a test. Yeah.
やばくないテストさ、これさ、書かなきゃいけなかったらさ、
I bet you
超
this.
時
I
間
wonder
か
if
か
this
っちゃう
shows up
よ
on
ね。
Kanken level. So this is one kanji somehow. Pretty wild. Anyway, I want that hanko. Oh yeah.
ハンコ屋さん
Is
が
that
か
a real
わい
kanji?
そうすぎ
Apparently
る。
it is a real kanji, yeah. But not one that you'll ever use. Like you'll never use it. It literally it's a strain to the eyes big time. Sometimes kanji have so many parts that it looks like an ink splotch at some point, but they're so squished that they're unreadable. Yeah, I mean it happens, but most kanji are not this complicated. This is the kanji with the most strokes. It's not like one you're gonna read in a book or anything. Reading stuff like that is partly why radicals are so important. Nobody actually sees what strokes are in that. They just learn the shapes of the radicals and read it that way. Yeah, I mean, like we said, it's just this and this, 3 of each, which aren't so bad. Cloud and dragon.
うん、
Kanji explosion. Small. Do Japanese people use a larger font for their screens, or do they just deal with the characters that are too small to read? I
ど
think
うい
they
うこ
just.
とラージャー
多分英語を使ってる人たちに比べてもっと大きなフォントを使ってるかどうかを聞いているんですけど I don't think so. I think a lot of times like if you look at the screen here, so this is the Japanese, I don't know, it's a wiki of some sort, and then you look at the YouTube video, the fonts are, oops, that's not what we want. Fonts are the same size. I mean, I'm not a Japanese person, but it's fine. Like I don't think people change the sizes than what we do. They just get used to it. Or like in a book, books are usually the same size or even smaller fonts than what I've seen in English commonly. You just get used to the shapes, and a lot of times it's like a self-completion. You know how when you're reading an English book and you're reading a sentence and you already know what the next word is going to be just because you know the flow of English. And like bad writing or writing that is intentionally trying to get you to stop and think might have words that you don't expect. So like you end up having to go back and read it again because you were expecting a different word, but they use some other weird word there. So it's the same thing in Japanese. Like you expect what's coming because you know the phrases, you know the flow of sentences, you know the ways things work. So in the end, you're not even necessarily needing to read every single kanji. You just know what word's coming next. So even if you've never seen the kanji, you know that in this phrase, like this is the phrase, so it must be this. You don't even think about it. So it doesn't necessarily become such an issue that you can't see every single stroke in the font. Yeah. So that's definitely part of it. Oh man, my phone can type like that one, but it doesn't display on the computer. Oh, okay. All right, so now that we've gotten sidetracked onto a fun little kanji called daito, daito, let's jump back into the video. なんか言いたかった？
いや、大丈夫です。
Yuki's already good.
私のさ、フェイバリット漢字はさ、紹介しなくていいかな。
いいよ。Yuki wants to introduce her favorite kanji since that was asked in chat. はい。
でも毎回違うかな。前回も同
every
じ
time
だ
is
った。
different? Sorry, I gotta start practicing already. Oh, no,
私のフェイバリット富士じゃない。
富士ね。
毎回。
富士だよね。Fuji is a type of plant, a flower.
そう、ウィステリアです。
Wisteria, we call it in English. But maybe you might not know what
でも
wisteria
さ
is.
椿も結構可愛いよね。そう思わない？
Wisteria is this type of flower that it's like they'll make tunnels out of them and stuff.
そう。あと椿も結構可愛いと思うんだけど、どうかな。木へに春。
Tsubaki she also likes. So we've got the tree and spring.
うん。
How do you read that again? Tsubaki?
うん、椿。なんだっけ
Tsubaki.
なんだっけカメリアじゃなくてこれなんて言うんだっけこれ
I don't
カメリア
Looks like Camellia Japonica.
合ってるカメリア合ってるじゃん、私すごい
I'm late, says Minami. No worries.
ようこそあ、
Welcome,
ことぶき好きな人がいる
Kotobuki.
みんななんかハッピーな感じです
Furigana is why I bought my first magnifying glass of reading. Yeah, some books the furigana is pretty much unreadable. A lot of manga too, you can barely see it. That can be an issue, especially like I found that the furigana in Shingeki no Kyojin, the manga, can be very difficult to read because the sentences, the little like all the characters within a single bubble can be quite dense.
なんかさ、いや進撃の巨人のさ18巻くらいに来るとさ、このさボックスがあるじゃないですか、そのさなんかこういう風になってるじゃんページが、なんかこの辺に人の顔が書いてあってさ、ね、こうずっとこういう風になっててさ、なんかでここにさこう次の人のさなんかこれがこういう風に書いてあってさ、ね、もうこうやってこうやってこうやって書いてあったらさ、ここにもこうやって
Yuki said that when you get to around book 18 in Shingeki no Kyojin, every page is more like it's like you got a little person's head and then just a bunch of words. So it's basically just like reading a novel. That's for sure. I'm really trying to learn radicals too. Right. There's only 3 pictures. Like the test puzzles where you can construct a whole sentence by the first and last letter, but all the letters in when are jumbled up. Yeah, something like that. It's similar. I like sushi. All right, not sushi. What is the meaning of that one?
寿セレブレーションかな、
Something like
祝いっていう、
yeah,
you are
A wizard is never late. I love it.
まあ確かにね、寿司の酢だね。
A book with doodles in the margins. I've read Green Lantern comics that look like that. It's rough. Yeah, for sure. All right, so we still haven't gotten past the intro of the video yet.
やばいぞ。やばいぞ。
And there's like 11 parts to go through. 6 parts into 5 kanji. Woo! We're going to be going to we should probably get some snacks or something. Let's get into it. Make sure you get your tea ready. We're starting today's episode, which is threaded with tons of parts, by getting one of those parts out of the way. This is probably my favorite kanji part out there, just because it looks cool to me. It's the small thread radical. Apparently, this is a Kanken level 1 kanji, but you'll likely never see it used as one. No, Retaj, they do not. So we're not going to worry about the fact that it's its own radical. It's also its only part. I think it looks unique enough that most of you won't have a problem remembering that. While many computer fonts make it look like there are 5 strokes in this kanji because of the lines poking out at each turn, there are actually only 3 strokes in small thread radical. We start with an L tipped to the right. It's similar to a hiragana ku, but the bottom line of the stroke is a bit shorter than ku. We then draw another L-like stroke connecting to this one, but with the cutback much sharper and sort of angled back up to the right a bit. Finally, we slash a dot along the end of the last stroke. Historically, this has always been a pictograph of twisted together thread, indicating a meaning of thread or tiny. Our story follows a similar thread. A pictograph of small, little, tangled threads coming out of the cocoon of a silkworm. As in, this shape looks kind of like a cocoon to me.
Yeah, I don't know why.
And we'll see this part in kanji having to do with silk and whatnot, so that's kind of helpful. Remember,
I don't know why. Like, this looks a lot like a cocoon to me, which works out because, it's based on silk, and silkworms make cocoons, I guess. Or do they? I don't even know. They do, right?
So.
Yeah. So I guess that works. And I don't think it was supposed to be looking like a cocoon, but that's what it looked like to me. Pretty sure I can read any English word, won't know what it means, but definitely readable, for sure. But you might not pronounce it right. So that's one thing to keep in mind.
Remember that it's a good idea to pause the video after each story and really try to imagine it, or to create a story of your own that will help you remember the kanji even better. Make sure the story contains the meaning and every single part in some way. Speaking of...
I definitely read that wrong.
This is one of my favorite kanji. Silk threads. This is the actual kanji for thread. While it is its own official radical, we can easily break it down into the parts small thread radical and small. There are 6 strokes in thread, which follow the exact order of its parts. We start with the 3 strokes in small thread radical on top. We then draw small beneath it, vertical first, followed by the dot on the left and the dot on the right. One thing to be aware of here is that the small part in thread can be written with either a vertical staff stroke or with a feathered broomstick. Both are officially recognized as being correct writings of this kanji.
Yeah, I really like... I don't know. This one looks so much more stylistic than most of the kanji we've covered so far. Just with those like, I don't know. I don't know. It's cool. And yes, you can do either one of these strokes. Either one is correct. Originally, this was the kanji for thread, which was simplified to just a single part for the Joyo kanji. It looks like dango, like a dango or what do you call it? すき焼きじゃなくて。
なんだっけ、シュラスコじゃなくて。
じゃなくて、肉。
わかる。
刺してる鳥の肉が。
焼き鳥
or dango, yeah. Especially this one. It's like you did yakitori on a trident or something.
このさ、さっきさ、シルクの話したじゃん。こうやってさ、なんかシルクを取ってたのかな。
Oh, maybe. I don't know. Maybe that's how they got silk. I started imagining Ito as struggling to get a thread into a needle. Oh, that's a good one. That's a good way to remember it. That's some good strokes. Yes, indeed. Oh, I'm late. Hello from Norway. Welcome, Tavakins Turner. Kanji yori dango. Kanji yori dango. Hello, Ando-san Yuki. Hello,
Regardless,
hello.
it was always a pictograph of silk thread
Ne.
twisted together. So for our story, the tangled threads are made into usable thread by spinning them around a small feather broomstick.
A very
If
cool
you personally
lollipop.
prefer to write this with a staff stroke, which would be fine, you could instead imagine the threads spooled around a staff and 8 horse legs or something.
All right. So we finally get to
the
our
threads
first
spooled around a
kanji.
staff and 8 horse legs or something.
All right. So it looks like it's time for us to get to the writing portion of the live stream. It's been a while.
なるほど。お蚕様ってこういう風に取るんだね。そっか。
Not want. Now I want a dango. Yeah. I could go for some dango as well. But we have cake
じゃあ
today.
団子書きます。
Dango じゃねえ。Hi, we're gonna write
はい
thread now.
糸書き
Cotton
ます。
candy on a. That's a good idea. That's a good way to think of it. Cotton candy on a stick. It could be thready.
はい。
Nice, nice.
Hi.
All right, here comes Andy's version. Psh, psh. I also generally use a vertical line. I don't usually go with the with this stroke. I don't usually, but you totally can. They both look fine. So yeah, there's one of my favorite kanji. And there's some dango for you.
みんな食べたことあるのかな、団子。
I'm interested to see what the Turbo Yuki mode's gonna look like for this.
はい、そうですね。
The angry one.
いきますよ。
Yeah, this one doesn't look too much different.
ね。
Looks pretty straightforward. Although it's a little bit more rounded. I guess
そう
it's
なんか
less jagged.
レイジしてるんかな。レイジだよね、きっと。
Of course, turbo mode is always laziness. What are you talking about?
なんかこのさ、
It's
イ
a
ングリ
backwards
ッシュ
3.
E みたいなさ、キャピタル E みたいなやつに
Looks more like a backwards
そう
3.
まあそうだね。に
And then you put small. Whoop, whoop.
わかる
Yeah.
この
And the small is also kind of like the turbo mode of small, which tends to curve in a little bit. Hair sticking out of a nose. Yeah, you can see that. It does kind of look like hair sticking out of a nose.
確かに。
To me, this kanji looks like a Christmas tree with a tree skirt. Oh, yeah, I could see that. That's quite nice. That's a good idea.
うん。
Threaded with decorations, eh?
確かに。本当だね。
Mm.
こういう感じ
Put the star on top, yeah.
こういう
And probably more like the original. Looks like a Christmas
あ
tree.
まあ確かにね。はい。
All right.
ターボね。
So to type this one, you're definitely going to want to go with ito. Ito. Ito will get you the typing for the quiz later, which is going to be quite late today. Ito. Ito.
もうビデオが始まる前からウォーミングアップしてる人いましたよね。
So, and Misa Fish was warming up his fingers like a typing competition person.
さすがさ、早い人は違うね。なんかもう
Pros are different.
もう
There you go. You guys got it. Valerie Quartz, welcome to the stream. Roland's P. Yep, that's it.
はい。
Those two parts.
うんうん。
Nice.
All right, jumping
団子
back
イートし
over.
たいって書いてある。
団子イート。そうだね。
本当だよね。団子イート
You
した
might be
よ。
looking at this and thinking, again? But the discerning among... See, this is the kanji for again. Or what was it? Right arm, right hand? Either way. You will notice the extra no-like stroke in there. If you're just noticing that now, you're late to the party, but still welcome. This part is the late radical. Because this is generally just a radical, we aren't covering an official radical for it. And we're going to consider it its only part, though you could arguably break it up into a no radical, fu part, and backwards no. You could also kind of break it up into an again part and a no if you wanted to, but officially that's not what it is, so we just kept it what it's supposed to be. We're not going to bother with that though. There are 3 strokes in the late radical. We start from the top of the no radical part on the top left, then draw fu connected to that, and a backwards no, generally connected to the first no. And if you look at the calligraphy here, it kind of looks like evening, but with the line going through.
そうだよね
It。kind of looks like that.
確かに。
Oh, she's writing winter.
ちょっとこれはプラクティシング
Not supposed to show.
なんだ。
Not supposed to
ちょ
show.
っと私の
Hi, sorry. Cutting through the fu, sweeping out to the right a bit. Officially known as the winter top part, this radical is apparently a pictograph of grabbing someone's... It's officially known as the winter top part. I should have mentioned this in the video. It's officially known as that because it's the main part in the kanji for winter. Legs from behind or following behind someone. It can also mean to drag your feet, which is where we get our meaning of late from. For a memorization story, we're going with no got out their legs and are running to work because they are late. I've also seen an official explanation for this as dragging one's feet. That last part is in the actual story on the Anki deck. Anyway, it turns out that 59% of you are late to the subscribers group. Help us solve that problem by hitting the subscribe button down below. All right, let's keep this going, man. Yeah, so that was just a part, so we're not going to be writing that one. You guys could probably sell some of these calligraphy paintings if you haven't already thrown them out. I think we still have like most of them. Yeah. Most of them are pretty like crinkled up.
私が練習用に使って
Yeah, she uses most of them for practicing the next one. So
man.
like she'll write a big one, and then after that one's done, she uses it for practice. So most of them are not, unfortunately, intact.
でも毎回書けるよ
But she could always write them again.
新しいやつね
This radical looks a lot like the person on the left part, but with an extra nose stroke above it. And granted, the second line is longer than the top stroke in person on the left as well, which is why we're calling this one going man radical. Well, actually, it's because this radical usually imparts a meaning of moving or going somewhere to the kanji that it's in, and it looks like a person part. And it's also the main part in the kanji for go. Anyway, since this is just a radical, we're not going to give it an official radical. And while it's fine to leave this as its only part, we're going to break it down into a no and person on the left. There are 3 strokes in the going man radical. I could see the no nu, except that you have to be careful with like nu. The second stroke in nu goes down, like it sort of curves down a bit, whereas whereas the second stroke in this one is not nu. So it's very sort of a subtle difference, but you're gonna see Yuki's practice for a minute. But nu is like this, right? So you go down like that, kind of not quite that dramatic, but just I'm emphasizing here. I'm exaggerating the downward spiral. But in again and in this kanji, it goes like that. So it's sort of extended out. It's a backwards no, as opposed to this stroke, which is a different stroke. They look similar. And for like memorization purposes, what you're doing there, Rollins, is fine. No nu, it's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. No and then nu. The thing is that if you actually write it like you've learned nu, it's not going to look right. It'll be sort of unbalanced, like that. So you do want to be careful that you're making your curve go up, or like straight out like that. I guess. Not that my kanji look beautiful or anything, but you get my point. But no, I mean that's not a bad way to memorize it. Just keep it. Just when you're thinking about it, try to keep just remind yourself, like before you write it, like it's no nu, but
remember that this like goes up or whatever, and you'll be fine. We start with the no part on top and write another one right below it. Interestingly, these are not usually at the same angle, though it may look like that in computer fonts sometimes. The next one is usually at more of a downward angle. Yeah, you usually see this kind of thing in writing. Like I learned this kanji just by looking at the font, so I always used to write them like exactly the same, length and same angle. But if you look, it's slightly more downward a lot of times. The second stroke. We then draw a vertical line from around the middle of, like you can tell here, they're almost the same angle, but this one's a little bit more down and obviously much longer. The second stroke. Remember that the whole part should be to the left because this will usually be a part on the left of kanji. The earliest forms of this radical were pictographs of a road intersection. Eventually, just the left side of the crossing was used and it morphed into what it is today. It had the meaning of going somewhere by road or walking with small steps. So for our story, we're going with Ando-san leaving no way off behind in the breeze as he goes away. On a bus, apparently. If you're on a Windows machine, you can actually type this. Mac, I couldn't get it to show up, but I believe if you type gyohen. なんだっけ? 行編じゃないんだっけ?
なんだっけ
行編じゃない?
やべえ、ど忘れしちゃった。
she forgot the name. I thought it was gyohen. No, it doesn't show up for that. She's gonna look it up. I can't remember exactly what it is. Always thought this part was hard to write. Somehow never looks right. It's probably it could be because the thing I was just talking about. Like when you look at the font, what is the tendency to happen is you have a tendency to do them exactly the same length and then pop it down. Which when you put it in a kanji like go, it just doesn't quite look right. And that's because this one is actually supposed to be more downward. And then this comes off here. I mean, this is still not great, but because it's me writing it, I'm sure Yuki could do better. Something like that, right? That's a little bit more. Nandakke? Gyoninben. Right. Okay, that's why I chose the name I chose. Okay, so it's if you type Gyoninben, it should show up if you're on a Windows machine. Gyoninben. It probably will not show up on mobile. Gyoninben. So that's actually the reason that I gave it the name of going man radical, because gyo is taken from the kanji for go, to go. Nin is taken from the kanji for person. And then ben is taken from hen, which is part on the right. So it's literally going man radical. So I just took the literal Japanese meaning or reading of the kanji. That should have actually given me a hint on how you could type this one out. Yeah, gyoninben. That is the name of it. Just so you know, just random fact. Behind my comical appearance and newly discovered love of puns is a very serious man. But behind that is this kanji, which means behind. Very serious. He shoots. He scores.
Nice.
Whatever. The first time I saw that, I'm not laughing that hard now, but the first time I saw that, I was so not expecting it when I was going through Dan's edit. I was like cracking up. And then just before when it showed up on the premiere, we had forgotten about it again. That one got us. Good edit, Dan. The official radical of behind. Watch that one more time. Behind. He shoots. He scores.
Nice.
Whatever. The official radical of behind is the going man radical. And we can break it down into all three of the parts we've learned so far today. Going man radical, small thread radical, and late radical. See? We've been heading right to this point in time for our entire lives. Or at least this video. There are 9 strokes in behind, which are broken up cleanly into the... Oh, look how that starts. Like, even when I was just writing it now. Even in my one that I thought looked better. You notice I start, like, on the same plane? Well, that's clearly, if you look at hers, she started right in the middle of the second stroke. So that might be part of why it's looking wrong for some of you are saying it was never looks quite right. You start like here. That actually looks quite nice. No, it looks much better like that.
なんか
That makes much more sense. Okay.
一応ねチップとして言うと、
Mm.
こことこの、
hold on. Okay.
あ
So
ごめん
there and
こことここ
mm.
のこの縦のライン
Mm.
がまっすぐの方が多分かっこよくなると思うんです
Okay,
よ。
okay. That's a good point.
Cool.
Yeah. So
こうい
like
う風に
here, if you
した時
start from
に
here, it's not on the same plane. Here, it's also not on the same plane. It's sticking out. So you want them to be on the
ここが
same.
ねこういう
So
風
you
に
come down here, same plane basically.
うん、
Haha! Nice little tip there.
でもこれ
Three
さ
parts
カ
I
リグラ
just
フィーだけか
mentioned,
な。
which each have 3 strokes. We start with the going man radical on the left. No stroke at more of an angle, and a vertical line. We then draw a small thread radical in the upper right quadrant of the kanji, though it does sneak to the left a bit over the center line. Finally, we draw the late radical below that, trying not to draw it down past the vertical line in going man radical. That will probably be the hardest part for most of you at first, and if you don't get it perfect right away, that's perfectly okay. I did not mean to rhyme that. Really, I didn't. Historically, we can clearly see the small thread radical part in the early versions of Behind. In fact, the earliest versions appear to be just the thread with hints of the late radical on the bottom. Apparently, this may have been an ideograph representing tying someone's legs up so that they couldn't move forward and were left behind, so to speak. It's nasty. That meaning was further emphasized when the going man radical was added during the Western Zhou dynasty. Another explanation I found was that the thread part represented a little bit, with late representing dragging one's feet, and combined with this go, giving us a meaning of dragging one's feet and moving forward little by little, making one late. It's worth noting that this kanji is often used for meanings such as later or after as well. For the memorization story for Behind, we're going with Ando-san was going in the race, but he was just a small thread late, so he was behind the winner. Doesn't look like he's very good at racing, I guess. But there, you can see he's just a thread late going over the line. Maybe pushing it a little bit there. Anyway, okay, let's go ahead and draw this one out. Pop this right in the middle. We'll see Yuki's late kanji.
はい。
This is used for things as like late, but also after or behind, things like that.
ちょっと小さかったかな。
That's okay. You can see it.
アンディも大きく書いてくれれば。
All right. So I was saying earlier that what'll be hard for a lot of you guys in the beginning is keeping this on the same like plane, like here. What I noticed happen a lot in the beginning for me was I'd be drawing like this, and then I'd like go beneath it, like that. That was what happened a lot to me. But it's not too bad. This one isn't too hard to write when you get used to it.
いいじゃないですか。
All right. Turbo Yuki mode.
ターボ練習しましたんで。
She practiced turbo, so she should be good to go.
ちょっとこれ結構ターボすると思うんで。
Yeah, everyone's popped some words in there that are used for this sometimes. Afternoon, later, behind.
はい。
Wow. That looked more like a cursive than turbo mode. That Gyohen become almost looks like Ito.
こうだと思うんだよね。
Bunch of squigglies.
Yeah,
That
but
that one would be hard to. Yeah, but I guess from
No,
like a
that-
distance. Yeah. It actually looks
Hold on.
better on camera than it does from my angle over here, way on the left. Yeah.
When you
From like directly above, they look pretty straightforward.
似てる似てる。
Synthetic vocalists, welcome back. Yeah, the shape is pretty much the same.
うん。
Does this only ever refer to the placement of something, or can it be used for referring to one's behind? Like behind me? Ushiro? Yeah, that's fine.
うんうん。
Contextually, it depends
まあ
like what you're
ちょっ
saying.
と
Ushiro ni imasu. Someone is behind me.
こんな感じかな。あ、 結局つながってしまった。
Yeah, no, she puts them together. You can see like everything gets on each of these strokes, they get sort of squiggled together.
ここがね、
And the thread radical above becomes just a like a I don't know.
ここがシュッシュッ
Shoo,
シ
shoo.
ュ
And then you drop down into the next stroke.
ね、ここがさっきのシュッシュッ
Kawaii.
シュッでいけると思います。
No, you can't use. I don't think we use behind in Japanese like we do in English in that way. I don't think that quite translates over. You'll find that a lot of like colloquialisms like that do not translate between languages almost at all. That's what the work of like localization is. If you're localizing a anime or a manga or something, half of that work or more is probably like is fixing those kinds of colloquialisms that just don't translate over to the other language. Because like I'm like 99.9% sure, let's ask Yuki, that this cannot be used to mean oshiri.
そうだよね。
No, it can't. It cannot. I think the old kanji were all turbo mode. Yes. All right, so to type this one, there are a few different ways you could do it. But probably the easiest will be ato kana. Ato.
そうだね。あとこの後でっていう言
So
葉
from
Ato.
ato de, which is later. Ato. Remember that we do not teach these so that you can memorize how to read this kanji like out of context. It's just quickly so you can get a way to type it for the quiz later in the video. And
Demo.
usually we're using words, so this is a word that means after or later. はい、demo.
これね、午前と午後が間違えた、午前じゃなかった、午後が書けるようになったね。これで
So then you can now write the word gogo.
うん
Gogo means afternoon.
うん
There's a lot of words you can write now. There's only 3 more lessons, which means we have what? 16 kanji left to cover. 16 kanji left after this video to cover, and you'll be able to write pretty much every single word you need to be able to write in kanji for N5 and for the first level of the Kanken test, which is the test that natives take. So that's pretty freaking cool. All right, so that is how we'll type that one. On we go. Be sure to share any stories that you might have created for this kanji down in the comments. It might help someone who our stories did not help. Preposterous. Technically, this is a kanji, but it's not one of the Joyo kanji, or kanji allowed to be used by news outlets and the government, so you likely won't be seeing it on its own. It's usually referred to in Japanese as the spirit overhang radical, as it is the overhanging part for the kanji. By the way, one thing I should mention is that for like Joyo kanji, I said government documents can only use the 2,136 kanji in the quote Joyo kanji, which were decided, I don't know, a while back. And newspapers also can only use those kanji. That does not mean that they can't use words that are much more complicated. Like, you can still use words that have kanji that are much more complicated. You just have to write those in hiragana. Or at the very least have furigana above them. So
多分そういうのは絶対振り仮名が
Yeah.
ついてると思う。
so you might, like, someone's name might not be in the Joyo kanji, so they'll have to have a furigana. Or, like, at least at the beginning of the article, it will have how to read that in hiragana next to the name. But for kanji that do not have furigana in official documents and news, it has to be one. It can only be one of those 2,136. That's what the Joyo kanji are. For spirit, which we'll be learning later, it can also be used to add a meaning of steam or gases. So we're combining everything into spirit steam radical. It is its own official radical, but we can break it down into a no lying down part, 1, and a variation of fishhook 2, which we learned what seems like a decade ago. Well, I did learn it a decade ago, but I'm talking about in this series. There are 4 strokes in spirit steam radical. We start with the no lying down part. No stroke first, and then the horizontal line coming off it from around the middle or just above the middle. We then draw a 1 stroke enclosed below that. Sometimes it's within the area of the no lying down part, and in some writing styles and fonts, it's a little below. Finally, we draw the fish hook 2 part in a single stroke, starting horizontal and then cutting down. I say horizontal, but it's a little bit angled up, eh? Quite stylistically angled up.
90 degrees and slicing back up at the very tip. Though it appears that the true origins of this kanji are not actually known, the prominent explanation is that it's a pictograph or ideograph of the movement of steam, air, or spirit. I didn't realize this until Dan mentioned it in the chat during the premiere of this video, but he made a little haiku for this. The air is moving. This monkey is a spirit. Steam of the onsen. Very nice. The air is moving. The monkey is a spirit. Steam of the onsen. Beautiful. This is likely a shot taken right here in Nagano, about 30-40 minutes from where we live. Well, you have to hike into the mountains a little bit. Right. When used in kanji, it often lends just such a meaning, so I guess that makes sense to me. For our story, we're gonna get kind of groovy, Ghostbuster style. That makes sense. For our story, I had a Pokemon here, eh? But then we're gonna get worries about copyright seem to have slipped through into the artist world, and we got a more traditional ghost. Those monkeys always look like they've just had it with life. Not to like, I don't know. Should I even say? Yeah, it's fine. To what's the word I'm looking for? There's an English word. Disenchant you. But the monkeys, I don't think they really want to be there. I think they would have left a long time, but they feed them. They have to feed them like multiple times a day to keep them at the onsen. So they'll like throw food into the onsen and they throw food all around. Otherwise, I think they just wouldn't come that much. So it's basically a tourist trap now.
まあでも最初は
In the beginning, yeah.
そうそう冬はあそこに来てると思うよ結構。
Oh, in the winter, yeah. Maybe in the summer they have to throw the food.
そう夏はね暑いからね全然
So
入
they
ら
don't
な
really
い
want to
けど。
come. So they throw food out. Maybe in the winter they don't need to. But Ghostbuster style, I guess. A salesman who is also spirit gas sells triple fluorescent worm spirit gas beds. His hook for making sales is it's like sleeping on spirit gas. He has no idea what he's talking about, but he's fast asleep the moment he goes to sleep on this hook of worms. We will also add a straight-up pictographic story for those of you who don't want to get too crazy. Pictograph. The steam-like spirits float up into the air like steam and are blown away in the wind. You may be wondering why this X-like part is not just grass clippers. Well, even though the stroke order is the same, the that's it, ghastly, that's the name. Second stroke in this kanji curves in the opposite direction, making this one look more like a katakana. This is what I was talking about earlier with nu. So this is the same stroke and the difference between it in nu. So for the one we were learning earlier for a late radical or the winter radical, nu is this one. It's this stroke here, whereas the winter radical is this one. It goes sort of different angle. So this part is got the same stroke as in nu or in me. Me, then grass clippers. We're going to give it a meaning of X marks the spot, like on a treasure map. X marks the spot where the official radical for this kanji goes as well, because it's just a part these days. And it's also its only part. Another X. Thanks, Dan. There are two simple strokes in this kanji. As with most diagonal and curving strokes, we start with the one that starts on the right and pull it back. We then write the second stroke, but curving down, which is something we really haven't done much of until this point at least, unless you've done katakana. Historically, this part is derived from the kanji for 5. So you've actually seen this chart. This is the exact same chart we used for the kanji for 5. Technically, this little X marks a spot is also 5, but if we gave it the meaning of 5, then we'd have a part and a kanji that both mean 5 but aren't used together. Just historically, this was 5. So that's why we sort of came up with an original name for this one. X marks a spot. 5 used to look a lot like an X, so another meaning for this part can be 5. For our story, we're going to make use of both meanings we've discussed. A treasure hunter sees No playing with a fluorescent worm off in the distance and thinks he found the 5 trillion yen treasure. But it's actually No and a line, or a worm, and it has the meaning of 5. I believe that would be 100 million. No, it's more than that. What's 5 trillion yen? Chou ne? Dakedo, how many zeros is that? Chou.
Oku
1
is
million.
100 million. Yeah, oku is this.
あ、そうだ。
So then cho has to be sen of that. So you have to have 4 more zeros, eh? 1, 2, 3,
So-
4.
うん。
So then it would be divided here, 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 and here. So it'd be 1. It would be a trillion. Okay. Duh. I just I have it written in English right in front of my face.
100億
5 trillion.
1000億1兆おー
5 trillion. But 5 trillion yen, you'd add a dot here and then move this back. It would be $100 million, I think. No, it would be 100 billion. Oh my God. I can't think now. I need an eraser. The eraser's so far away.
123
So then you get rid of these.
ここ
And then here, here, here. That would be thousands, millions, 10 billion. 10 billion. So it would be $50 billion
す
treasure.
ごいイナさんもうできてるんだ
Very nice. 50 billion. Yes. It's at least 12. It's at least 12. More than 12 for sure. 50 billion dollars. Okay. Now we know. Good thing it was also a 5.
数字苦手なんだよね
Me
そういう
too.
時
In the spirit of getting to the end of this very long lesson, since you're probably getting tired of all the parts, I'm not going to make another pun, because I already have. This kanji means spirit. You saw that one coming, I bet. The official radical of spirit is spirit steam radical, appropriately, and the parts are the ones we just learned.
Yeah, the comma is never in the 4th spot, despite numbers being the way they are. They still comma the numbers the same way we do, but they go from 10,000s, and then you go by thousands.
Spirit steam radical, and X marks the spot /5. There are 6 strokes in spirit, despite it looking complicated enough to have more. We start with the spirit steam radical. No lying down, followed by a 1 just beneath, and this variation of fishhook 2. That whole thing overhangs our X marks the spot part. Historically, this kanji actually had the kanji for rice, which we'll learn later, inside the spirit steam radical.
And you can still get this to pop up on keyboards if you just type ki, both of them.
The spirit steam radical used to just indicate reading. The kanji as a whole had a meaning of to send food. Eventually, it was borrowed to mean steam or gases and spirit, which meant it no longer got its reading from the spirit steam radical, but instead its meaning. For the Joyo kanji, which are the only kanji that are allowed to be used in newspapers and government documents, the rice was replaced with X marks the spot. I'm not sure which I think looks cooler, though. How about you?
I think I
For
like
our
the new one
story,
better.
we're going with No buys 5 of the beds, hook, line, and sinker. Now he's a spirit.
Yeah, I think I like the new one better. I don't know. I think it looks more stylish. Someone was mentioning, who is that? Jolly Jenkins says this is one of their favorite kanji to draw. I agree. It's very nice to draw. It's very kind of just like the first kanji in this video, Ito thread. It's very unique. Stands out from other kanji a little bit. So I don't think this one, despite the silly story, is actually that difficult to memorize, just because it's so easy. Like, it's so unique. Yeah. All right.
うん
Let's see what it looks like.
この木っていう字は結構漢字の割にはアシンメトリーですよね。そこがなんかちょっとスタイリッシュかな。
Roland says, bring back the rice. Yeah, the asymmetry she's saying looks kind of nice. My favorite kanji to write is 1 because I'm lazy and my handwriting is bad. Fair enough. All right, let's see how I do with this one. Eh,
いいじゃない
it's
です
not
か。
too bad.
うん。
It's a little bit. This could stand to be a little bit longer,
うんうんうん
but overall,
うん
not too
いいじゃ
shabby.
ないですか。
Also, I can relate. My favorite kanji, says Rollins, is depression.
All right, let's take a look at Turbo Key.
はーい。ターボ行きたいと思います。
Woo!
こうかな。
Okay. The top looks kind of like the first part we learned today. Thread.
うん
Looks kind of like thread on top. But obviously you're not going to mix up when you get this part popping up and this. It's going to be clearly ki. Very interesting. Ki also in many cool words. Yes, indeed. Honto ichiban. Oh, I like turbo key. Yeah, turbo key's pretty cool.
ね。そう、ターボキー、このさ、3連が来るのが多分かっこいい感じにな
Yeah,
るよ
yeah,
ね。
they look quite cool.
この目がちょっと練習して。
Well, she's got to practice me.
はい。
Oh, very nice.
こ
Okay.
んな感じかな。
My favorite kanji is dragon.
Kago?
Oh no, kago.
Kago
Yeah, yeah.
でしょ?
Okay, it's box. I didn't see the little grassy spokes above it. Oh, okay. My favorite is tame. Is that tame? Yeah, that's quite nice. Tame is cool. All the ones with like the bird-like parts and those that part on top. I don't remember what I call that part on top of tame. The 3 strokes, 1, 2, 3, the 4 strokes there.
こういう
So yeah, that I can't remember what I call that, but I like that as well. It's quite
これね。
nice. It looks like a giant yeah, like a yacht or something viewed from the
そうだね。
front. Feels like you're
このね。
drawing a yacht as well.
ここがどうしてもね、同じようにできたらいいんだけどね。
It's quite cool. It's also like a big B with a loop below it. But you totally can see the boat there, eh?
まあそう。
Viewed from the front,
これ多
100%.
分点チュンだと思う。
Everything that the person who created this kanji did was for the purpose of getting a yacht. Oh, yeah.
こうかな。
Since tame means for the purpose of. All right, so to write this or to type this kanji, definitely just ki.
はい。
Ki is all you need. Ki.
これキ以外にやることあるんですかね。
Eh,
キ。
I think that's the actually only reading, although you might see ke. I can't remember.
あ、そうだね。
But that's not going to pop up easily for you.
確かにね。
Almost always ki
キ。
for this kanji.
形容詞で何々ゲっていう時が K か。
Yeah. Rain is also a good one, yeah. Some of the stylistic versions are very good. Yeah, we're going to be covering that one in, I think it might be the next lesson. I'll have to take a look. Anyway,
ね。
all right. Doing well. Boom. In the spirit of helping out, please hit the like button. It really helps. I think. I'm still not sure about that 20 lessons in. We're like 70 minutes down the rabbit hole of the lesson 20 kanji video, and we've only learned 3 actual kanji. This JLPTN1 and Kanken level 5 kanji means whole, but we're learning it as a radical. It is a kanji though. The whole kanji for whole is an official radical, but we'll break it down into the parts house roof and 8, which is usually 8 horse legs when it's a part. There are 5 strokes in whole. We start with the house roof on top, where it belongs. Chimney first, followed by the tiny vertical stroke on the left, and the single stroke that completes the roof. We then draw 8 beneath the roof, leg on the left and leg on the right, floating down beneath the roof. Historically, this kanji was a pictograph of a hobbit hole. Well, okay, this was before Tolkien's time, which, by the way, is all of the time after The Hobbit was written. It's just a pictograph of a cave or home made from a hole in the ground with a roof on top. It's a hobbit. I wish we could use Lord of the Rings music. I would just make all of these videos have Lord of the Rings music, ideally from the Shire. For our story, we're going with the horse legs. To keep our horse leg collections safe, we put them in a hole and put a house roof over it. Because we're weird. That's why. You know what? You could just go with the hobbit hole. That's what I'd do. Wait, I can hear you saying, that's not a hole floating in the sky above that construction part. That's a roof over person's legs. And you're right, but you're also wrong, because this kanji means sky, and its official radical is hole. We'll break it down into whole
Japanese
and construction.
people?
Though, since we've already
Why?
mentioned how the 8 becomes person's legs in this kanji, you may personally want to add that as a part. We'll be adding it into the story a bit as well. There are 8 strokes in sky. We start with the 5 strokes in whole.
chimney, followed by the 2 strokes in house roof. Next comes person's legs. While in fonts, these usually look like they're connected to the roof, perhaps due to space constraints. In writing, they're often slightly separated from the roof, just hanging out underneath. Both parts need to be up in the top half of the kanji, though, so that we have room to write construction down beneath. Historically, this kanji was given its meaning from the hole on top, which indicated a meaning of emptiness, and thus eventually, you can see from the historical, we looked at the historical version of hole just a few moments ago, that's clearly what this is. Sky. The construction I-beam on the bottom was apparently to indicate the reading back in the day. Here's our story for sky. Ready for this? The Earth is actually flat, longest story to date, and lies at the bottom of a big empty hole, which is the sky. And down there, we've constructed everything we have, including the silly story that the Earth isn't flat. Complete construction. Sexy Legs is the only one that actually knows this, though, and that's why the legs in hole are different. The legs, they know. All right, so.
はい。
Oh, yeah, there's the historical version. Very nice.
こういうポケモンいるよね。
Oh, there is a Pokemon that looks like that.
なん
one
か
of the
ゴ
new
ー
ones,
ストの、そうそう、なん
Kind of
か
reminds me of that
グ
dog.
レイのなん
The
か
dog.
なんちゃらハウンドみたいな
Yeah,
やつ
yeah,
で、
yeah. It's one of the new dog ones.
ここにね
It's got a
キ
little
ャンド
candle
ル
on
が
top.
乗ってんの。
Mm-hmm.
いるよねこのポケモン。
Interestingly, so Stargumi just wrote this word in chat. And in the font that is used in OBS Studio, which is what we use to stream,
うんうん
the part on top does look exactly like hole, not like person's legs. So that's interesting. If you look over at the actual YouTube chat, it's clearly got the person's legs below it, but the font that is used over in the program we're using to read your chat looks just like hole on top. So that's cool.
私今までさ気がつかなかったんですけど、この愛、こう横に手打ってたんですね。
So she was practicing over here after who said that?
マジと思って、もうマジだよ。こう縦
It's
な
cute
の
that
み
Yuki
んな。
titles her eye horizontally instead of vertically, which is what. See, I don't do either. So Yuki does this, and then apparently most people do this. This is how I do it. I just do a dot.
ちょっと横だと変な感じする。
No, that's fine.
To Japanese.
That's fine. It is a little Japanese, I guess. I've never done that. I just do boom.
あ、でもそうだよね。
The dot.
確かにね。
Ali says keep on doing it though.
本当？
Looks like a priest in a robe to me. Oh, interesting.
こ
Yeah.
の多分ね私ねこの日本漢字のみんな最初やったさこの点が慣れすぎてるから、ね、
People are too
これ
used to drawing the
そうそう
dots like that.
そうこうい
There's
う
no
風に
dots
点
in kanji. They're little.
点打っちゃうの。
Yeah, they're pin. They do a line.
ね
That's what the dots are in Japanese. You can't see the dot half the time, so I was told to draw a short line. Interesting. Okay.
うん。
I didn't know that. I like this kanji especially because sky takes on so many different meanings. Empty, available, etc. Yes, indeed. It can be like a vacuum, a void. Emptiness works perfectly for sky. Especially if you have a bad pen, you never see the dot. Good point.
こいつの名前教えてくれた。
あ
グレイバー。グリーバー。
What's the name in Japanese? I only played the Japanese version.
この
Grievered. Let's pop
ちょ
up
っとわかりません私名前。
What is the site? Yakun? Yakun.
あ、そうだそれだ。
Here's the site we used for when we were playing Scarlet Violet. So we'll look up where is it?
あの
It's in
かなに
Japanese. Where is it? Point to me.
これ
Grievard. Oh, yeah, this one. Okay. Bochi.
ぼっちか。
Bochi.
ぼっちだ
Bochi means graveyard in English,
Bochi da.
interestingly. Bochi. そうだね, bochi.
あ、ぼっちだ。
Bochi is the one.
ね似てるよね。ぼっち似てます。
I've been playing in Japanese. Yuki plays it in English, so I don't actually know. I don't know any of the new Pokemon's names in English. Bochi. Interesting.
あ、こいつが進化するとハカドッグになるんだね。
Hakadog, a gravestone dog. Oh yeah, and he's got a gravestone on his head. Okay. That's right.
ぼちとか
ぼち。
ウケるよね。普通のさね、なんかそういうレギュラーネームはポチなんですよ。お犬
A regular, like the most common dog name is
そう
Pochi.
そうポチなんです
Okay,
よ。
so then they did a play on words of that and did Bochi,
うん
which is graveyard.
So-
Very, very, very cute.
Hi.
Most Pokemon names in Japanese are like that, little puns. They're
Mm.
basically puns. Most Pokemon names in Japanese, I guess in English as well, but more so even in Japanese, like more clearly in Japanese a pun than in English. I think they really dove into that, whereas in English they sort of pull back a little bit. Like even Pika Pika's name, like Pikachu's.
うんそう
Even Pikachu's name, which went straight over to English, is Pika Pika, is the sound electricity makes, or like a
そう
shiny
そうこ
shiny
の
sound.
フラッシングの
And flashing
あ
of
のオノマ
lightning.
トペイヤ
So he says, yeah, the onomatopoeia for flashing of
Mm.
lightning or whatever is Pika Pika. That's funny. Anyway,
はい、
Sora.
いきますよ。
That's one houndstone in English. That one's houndstone. Okay. Interesting. Oh, yeah. I mean,
Hi.
perfect. Yokai Watch is also great for learning puns.
うんうん
It's all puns. Yokai Watch and Pokemon. 100% puns.
そうだよ。
That's all they are. It's just a
そうだよね。
bunch of puns. Why do you think I figured out that I puns so much? Because I played too much of those games.
やばい、もうジャパナイズされて、なんか
I'm turning
puns
Japanese. I think I'm turning Japanese. I really think so. Do 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 do.
それ何の曲だっけ？
Turning Japanese. I can't remember who does it. My dad and I used to dance to that all the time when I was 2 years old, and that's why I moved to Japan.
素晴らしい、この青空いいですね。みんな
青空 nice.
書けるようになった。
I love the anime of Yokai Watch. I got to get into that more. It was fun. The game, for the first one at least, is fantastic for practicing Japanese. I think it's very, very for like games, extremely easy. Not, it's still gonna be hard, but of all the games I've played in Japanese, it's got the most practical Japanese, the most easy to understand, and yeah, it's a pretty good one to get started with. How many years have you been studying Japanese? Like 11 or 12, I guess.
素晴らしいですね。
All right, turbo mode.
はい、い
Sky.
きますよ。
What platform is it on? There's one on Switch. It's originally on 3DS. Okay, that's not too different.
ね、ほぼ
Pretty much exactly the same.
この穴っていう字、ここの部分は結構、空間がある感じで、
Yeah, there's a lot more
つなげ
space
られ
between the
ない
top.
よね。
In fonts, like in computer fonts, it usually looks like this. So a lot of you will probably start out writing it like that, connected to the top, and then you probably end up curving that up and stuff. But I've never really seen anyone type or write this with the curve up there. Most people go straight out, and it's sort of separated out like that.
うんうん
Something to keep in mind. The Switch one isn't available in English, I don't think, but the 3DS ones are. Yeah, don't get in English. Get in Japanese. It's totally doable in Japanese for you guys. Turning Japanese is from The Vapors. Thank you very much. Come to Japan, Dan.
本当だよね。この I wonder なでる become dark joke だよね。本当。この because なでる is 手がない。このさ、漢字がさ、手なのに
Right.
右側ないっていう感じだよね。
Right. Interesting.
ね。音だけなのかな、その音だけを引っ越したいからなでるっていう。
What's your favorite game in general? Ooh. Morrowind is my favorite experience that I've ever had playing a game.
あれ
Morrowind.
トゥーンタウンオンラインは
Toontown Online. Yeah,
Toontown
Toontown Online.
Online
Toontown Online is pretty good. My favorite. I mentioned this like 6 times in the live stream so far. One of my favorite games of all time, though, is also this game called Akea, which is the first game that ever introduced microtransactions to the world. So it's also evil. But that was one of my favorite games. But probably Morrowind was my favorite game of all time, I'd say. But the game I've played the most of now is 100% Elder Scrolls Online. I've got like 2,000 hours in that. And World of Warcraft, during Burning Crusade and Wrath of the Lich King, I played a lot of. I really, really enjoyed it then, but I stopped after that. I stopped halfway through Wrath.
リッチキングなのにお金ないんですよね。
The Lich King? Not Rich King. The Lich King. Lich King. Dead. So, 金がないね。はい。
All right. To type this one, you just go with Sora.
はい。
Oh, we're all Khajiit. Yuki and my characters. Well, I used to only be Dark Elf. Sora. Sora is the way you want to type this. Sora. I used to only play Dark Elves because I really like. That's what I. Well, I played Nord and Morrowind, but I really like Dark Elf in ESO. But Yuki wanted to be Khajiit, so now our mains are Khajiit.
これで空気も書けるようになったね。
Oh yeah,
この
Kuki
さっきやっ
is
た
air.
空気とか
Kuki
青
is
空。
air. Aozora, someone said earlier, is blue sky.
うん。
Kuki air. Very nice. This one is also
そっ
Khajiit.
か。からはどうですか？からはやらない？
Kara?
うん。
We don't need too many.
あ、そうですか。
But yes, kara will also work. Kara means empty.
うん。
Kara is number 4. Yeah.
いまいち。
Kuki yomenai says come to Japan, Dan.
あ、書けるようになったね。読めない。
Kuki yomenai. Did we cover read already? We did cover read. Oh no. We cover read. Read isn't until N4. That's right. I can't watch today, but I wanted to say hi. Thanks, Kia. Welcome. Thanks for
Hi.
stopping by. Argonian and
来てくれて
Khajiit are what I
ありがとう
play.
ございます。
I miss the old leg models of the Morrowind beast races. I agree.
で
I think
私
the
も
old
一緒
models.
じゃん。
I think the old models in Morrowind were way cooler.
うん。
I'm very disappointed in the way that ESO does models, but and movement in general. But it's still fun to play. Very accessible.
はい、ローレン G さんの開くも OK です。
Yep.
でもちょっと送り仮名が出ちゃうからね、もうそれでもいいけど。うん。OK です。お腹すいた。そうだよね。すくも OK だね。
Yeah.
やばいね。いっぱい読み方があ
There's a
るね。
lot. There's a lot.
Chutto.
So that's why we don't learn yomikata. We don't learn how to read kanji just from the readings. We learn words that contain the kanji. That's the best way to do it. And yeah, Ali, depending on the font, it definitely will show 8 below it sometimes and sometimes not. Really? That's cool. I didn't know that mod existed. I was just playing Skyrim the other day a little bit. I've never really finished Skyrim, but I was going through it and I was disappointed that the Argonians in there were just basically standing up straight. Morrowind, they were so cool. Anyway, enough talk about video games. I should go back to game streaming on my second channel one of these days,
ね
just for fun. I hope you enjoyed that tall tale. The tale for this Nani?
12人さ、集まればさ、私のさ、トライアルデビューじゃない？
We only need 11. If we could get 11 people together, we'd only
そっか。
need 9 people then. If we could get 9 people together, you could finally do her first trial. Kanji is not quite so tall. Well, actually, it kind of is. I created a guild, and we're the only two in it. So if anyone wants to join our guild on Elder Scrolls Online, send us a message later.
そう。
Also,
あ
the
ね
kanji.
グランドマスタ
Oh yeah.
ークラフティ
In
ング
my
テーブル
my
あ
house,
る。
we have all the Grandmaster trading tables that Yuki and I we built last month. We spent every single penny we've ever made. Over what was it? 100 no. Ichioku 100 million, 1,400,000,000 yen, I think.
ゴールド
A
ね。
billion 400 million yen. Was
す
it?
ごく
Is
ない？
that it?
そのお
No,
金
no,
さ
no, no, no. I'm sorry. It was. Yeah, maybe it was. No. That's way too much. 140 million, I think, is what it means. Anyway, tall.
すごくない？
And the official radical of tall is tall. We can break it down into the parts pot lid, mouth, and overturned box we learned about way back in lesson 4. There are 10 strokes in tall. I'm not sure why, but despite looking a bit complicated, I've always found this kanji quite easy to write and remember. We start with the pot lid on top, followed by the mouth beneath. We then draw the 2 strokes in our overturned box enclosure. Before drawing the final mouth inside of it. It's quite tall in the calligraphy. As Yuki mentioned last week, drawing things taller looks much more stylistic. You can see in the pen, though, it gets a little bit wider. The earliest form of tall brings us right back to the aliens who came down on tall rockets to bring us... One thing I was going to mention, I'm a little bummed you can't like switch your character over to Japanese in ESO easily from within the thing. I want to play it in Japanese. I've been playing Skyrim in Japanese, and that's quite... not bad, actually. But that'd be nice. Their knowledge of kanji. Later on, it more clearly becomes the image of a pagoda or tall building. That's quite clear, eh? You can see the rocket here. You can also see the pagoda in the original one.
うんうん
This one's more clearly not a rocket, but just a straight up pagoda with like a pond beneath it. This is the kanji the modern simplification was based on. I could easily imagine this old version looking just like a rocket or a tall building.
Either one.
Either fits, to be honest, and both are tall, so it's all good. For our story, we'll say that this is a pictograph of a tall Japanese-style building. Think pagoda, except this pagoda's top floor is just a pot lid on the head of a mouth living on the top floor. And the bottom floor is just an overturned box with another mouth living inside. But they're as tall as the expensive buildings around them. The ultimate bachelor pads.
It took me 3 hours to get registered to Final Fantasy XIV as well, and 3 or 4 hours to get registered to Dragon Quest 10 online. Square Enix is pretty terrible. I don't think they want you to play their games. And they figure if it takes you 3 or 4 hours to register, then you won't quit because you put so much time into it already. Yeah. Anyway, in ESO we mostly just run around picking plants and killing dragons and world bosses, so we don't actually do quests. So that's one thing to keep in mind.
私がねピッキングフラワーズしてたから、ねお金がねできて
That's why we got rich. When I started the game, I tried to get her into the quests, even though like the quests are, they're not difficult and they're kind of. It's basically like watching a movie because the quests are so easy. But anyway, she was like not interested in that. She'd just be running off, picking all the plants all over the place, picking plants, and be like, come on, we gotta go over here and do this quest. And she's like, wait, I gotta get this piece of wood over here. And I was like, all right. And finally, after about 3 hours, I just gave up. It's like, you know what? Let's just run around the world, go pick up all the sky shards, and you can pick all the plants, and we'll just like kill the world bosses in every single area. So we just did that. And then we found dragons, and then we killed dragons for like 40, probably 100 hours. Just dragons over and over again for about 100 hours. And then she's now, for those of you who know me, so she's 1000 CP now, just from picking flowers and killing dragons.
そうまだねストーリー始まってないんで
She
す
hasn't
よ
done the story or anything.
まだゲーム始まってない私
She hasn't started the game
ま
yet.
だゲーム
Well,
は
that's not true. You did the starter area and the first area so that you could get the house.
そうそれは
That
お
was
家が欲しかったからねなんかあまりにお金ができてお金を何かに使いたくて
She had too much money, so she wanted to use it on something. So she found out there was kind of a nice house in a place called Oradon, which is a high elf area. And so we struggled through the quests in that area, which usually would probably take a normal like 3-4 hours. To, like spread that over like 6 weeks, just doing like one at a time. Like, ugh, I just want to go pick plants or kill a dragon. And it took 6 weeks or something to get through that. Anyway,
はい
let's go ahead and draw. Who knew this is going to become a ESO discussion?
そうだよね
Sorry
本当
for
だよ
those of
ね
you who have no idea what we're
あ
talking
そう
about.
ごめんねそうここ
Yuki,
に
I pick flowers and kill dragons, and I'm all out of flowers.
そうはい書きますね
Oh yeah, her favorite area is elsewhere. 100% elsewhere. And yeah, the storylines can be very good. I've done most of the quests through Clockwork City on my main, but
はい
very nice.
あちょっと下の口が大きくなるようにした方がかっこ
Yeah,
よかった
this one you want to
かな
be. Well,
あで
no,
も
no, it's
こっ
definitely
ちは
smaller.
うん
It's definitely supposed to be smaller. So we go boom, boom. I find I don't really even need a story for this one. I don't know. This is another one. Like this lesson in particular is filled with a lot of kanji that sort of stick out. I don't know. Dosta? She's really looking hard at this.
はい
No?
いいと思います
Okay,
Mm.
nice. Turbo takai.
はいターボ高いねそんなにターボしないと思います
Kaylee says, yeah, I agree.
Mm.
She says that notch in the top left of the overturned box is so nice looking. Eh?
ああそ
Yeah,
の
that's
ね
stylistic. I don't got that.
それちょっと強くねやるとね
If you push down a little bit harder, that showed up there in
So.
turbo mode.
この
Mm-hmm.
ターボしないね
No, it looks the same even in turbo mode,
Mm.
pretty much. Although this
こ
one
れが
looks a
一
little
番
different.
ターボって感じだよね
That's cool looking. I like that.
はい全然ターボしませんでした
It doesn't do
う
anything.
んここの部分だけだねターボしてんのは
All right, there's a couple ways you could write this one. Obviously you could do takai, which is tall, takai, and then delete the e, like that, takai.
高いあまたあれが 愛の
Takai.
これ
Oh, she's going to be super self-conscious of this now. Yeah. So you could do that. You could also, I guess, use, I don't know, coal?
ねこれさ高校生の高校できるんじゃない
You can do coal.
高校生もできるか
So 高校生 we become,
高校
did we do say?
うん高校生だってもう生きるやったでしょ
そうだね。
学校の校もやったし
So you can do the word 高校生.
うん
So you could just do the coal from that.
まあ高校でもいいけどね高校生まで行くとハイスクールスチューデントまで入るけど
Right.
高校だとハイスクール
高校 is high school ね。高校 just 高校 gets you high school.
うん
But you only have to type the first ko, and that'll get you tall as well. So whichever one you find faster to write, takai minus ai, or takai,
うんうん
or ko. It's getting late here. Too bad I'll miss the quiz, but thanks for the great lesson as always. You're welcome, Allie. It is time for the quiz, actually.
ありがとうござ
But
います
but I hear you. It's late.
そうちょっとねちょっとランダムなイエスを
Yeah, we got
ごめんね。
quite sidetracked. But sorry.
ね
It
はい
actually
来て
ended
くれ
up
てあり
going
がとうございます
a bit faster than I expected, considering how many parts we had to cover. But I guess we don't have to write out the parts and stuff, so that doesn't take so long.
はい
All right. Ready?
ついにクイズじゃない
I should get a drink. Whoa. We're going. I just doubled the speed.
危ね
Ultimate bachelor pads.
I didn't
Which
realize if you
brings
just
us to
hold
the
down the
lesson
mouse
20
button,
quiz.
doubles
In
the
this section
speed.
of the video,
What?
I'll show you a flashcard with the English meaning for a
I
kanji.
didn't even know
Pause
that.
this section of the
Long
video.
holding.
I'll show you a flashcard with the English meaning for a kanji. Pause the video when we show each card and try to remember how to write that kanji. Next, write it on your hand with your finger or on a piece of paper. Then press play and see if you were right. The best way to remember kanji you just learned
It's fine. It's
is
fine.
to
It's fine.
search your memory for the story we taught you or the one you made based on the English word on the flashcard. Our first card is spirit.
Spirit. Okay.
早
Got
す
it.
ね準備してたでしょ
Yeah.
ね準備してたんじゃないね
He's like, you were definitely prepared for that one. First is Aosabi. Second is En meets the fish. Who needs sleep? Well, you're never gonna get it. Star Gumi is third. Chinamini Taifu isn't big wind. Okifu. But use table kanji. Daifu.
台風
Ne.
ね
Mastering is in fourth, I believe. Kaylee is in fifth. I'm about to get massacred in this Kanji Tines Day quiz. Yes, the Kanji Tines Day quiz. Kimochi says come to Japan Dan, which means he is in sixth. Five Toes Wolf Bear in seventh. Ali in eighth. Rollins gets the old version of Key. I guess we'll give you ninth for that. Don't count me as first. I'm a cheater. It's okay. Everyone is, I think. Most people.
り
A couple people always have it prepared, I think. I'm very glad that y'all make these videos. I'm glad to hear that, Joe Bear. Verora.
はいありがとうござ
Welcome
い
to the
ま
quiz.
す
All right, let's see if you guys got that one right. Morbid Blessing, that is correct. No buys 5 of the beds, hook, line, and sinker. Now he's a spirit. All right, let's see what Yuki picks as our first random. Are we going to do doubles again today?
はい
All right, we're doing doubles again today. She's going to pull out 2 cards so we get double the practice, which means you're going to have to type out each one individually because it's not going to be a full word. It's just going to be 2 random kanji. Excuse me.
はい
Let's see what we got. The first 2 random kanji for today. Please put them in the correct order even.
いい
Ready? Joe Bear, that is correct. Entrance and mouth, which is actually a word. If you know the word for entrance mouth, you can get this one easy. There it is. There's the word.
素晴らしい
Aosabi is first with Come to Japan
Hi.
Dan in second. Both of those ratings are okay. They both are read exactly the same way. And Meets the Fish in second. Ali in And Meets the Fish in third. Ali in fourth. Roland's in fifth. Kaylee in sixth. Five Toed Sloth Bear in seventh. Ali, you are correct with the second reading as well. Stargumi in eighth. Chobear in ninth. Very nice job. You can read that. Oh, Jeev is in 10th right there.
Hi.
Nice. You can read this as Iriguchi, and both of the writings are correct. Iriguchi. Sometimes it has the D in between. Usually on signs, it's going to just be like this. But if you're seeing it in like writing, where someone went to the entrance or something, you might see it with the D in between. But either way is fine. Iriguchi.
はい
Extra credit in Chinese. I have Nuko. I have no idea. Nuko.
ね
In Chinese might be New Ko.
ちょっと
わからん. There's Deguchi. We can also write that one. Even the random card draw is ready for us to move on to words. Yes, indeed. It's like, let's get words. We got to get more words out here, guys. It's coming soon. Hijoguchi. Nice. Next is thread. Thread is next. Oh, I almost forgot to pause. Hi, thread. And meets the fish and Aosabi, first and second. Stargumi in third. Kaylee in fourth. Allie in fifth. Woo. Roland's in sixth. My daughter's in-law is Chinese, and when my son and she were in China, I could recognize some of the kanji. Nice.
Oh.
And meets the fish first. Aosabi in second. Stargumi in third. Kaylee in fourth. Ali in fifth. Roland's in sixth. Come Japan Dan. Itodenma in seventh. Morbid Blessing in eighth. Jeeves in ninth. Master Wings in 10th. Oh, Minami, that is correct, but it's in English. Or in Romaji. Five-toed sloth bear in 11th. Cho bear in 12th. Very nice job. All right. A few more people slipping into the quiz here. Nice job.
みんな糸電話使ってる？
糸電話使ってないな。
糸電話使ってない？
今使ってないでしょ？
たまにアンディ糸電話でさ、トイレからさ、トイレットペーパー取ってって言わない？
ないよ。Although I have seen a bunch of, we've been looking at like random old houses online from time to time. I do see bathrooms with ito denwa in them sometimes. Right next to the toilet. Probably for that purpose. Talking on the toilet or calling someone to come get them. I don't know. And there's the English kanji right there from Five-Toed Sloth Bear. Love it. Let's see if you got that one right. Yes, you did. Whoa. The tangled threads are made into usable thread by spinning them around a small feather. Here we go.
Oh.
Someone asked me what my favorite game earlier was, and I said it was Morrowind. Another game I really, really loved in college was Braid. All right, this is not a word, so you're going to have two different kanji to pull up here. We've got listen and name. Listen and name. I changed fluorescent worm to shiny worm in my stories as I'm too dumb to remember that word. That's fine. Shiny is probably better than fluorescent, for sure. Much easier to type. Do you have a favorite anime? Oh, Chris, you asked about that earlier. I'm so sorry. You were asking for a good anime aimed at beginners. Forgot to answer that question. I'm sorry. And meets the fish. That is correct. That is correct. And meets the fish gets on Phineas. Close, but that was actually speak and name. Stargumi is in second there. Aosabi, not quite. That was easy. We haven't covered that one yet, I don't think. Ali is in third, I believe. Come Japan Dan is backwards, but it is correct, so that's fourth. Jeeves in fifth. Kaylee in sixth. Cho Bear using words for the kanji. That's perfectly fine. In, what is that, seventh? Five-Toed Sloth Bear in eighth. Morbid Blessing in ninth. And Minami, I'm guessing you don't have a kanji keyboard today, so that is fine in 10th. And Roland's in 11th. Very nice. Okay.
南、惜しい。南さん、
そうだね。not
NA ですね。
Right. So that's not quite right, but good lord, what is the secret to getting space to stop selecting kanji and just work like a space key? I typed that like 3 times before it stuck. You have to, so you hit space to make the word, and then you have to hit enter, and then you have to hit space again. So you gotta get that enter key in there. Beginner anime. If anyone else in chat has some good ideas for beginner anime. But I never answered Chris's question about like easy anime to get started with. One thing you can get for free is on YouTube. There's a ton of episodes of Sazae-san. Sazae-san looks like this. If you search that on YouTube, you're gonna get a bunch of like just daily life stuff, super daily life. It can be a little complicated because there's like older people in it. So sometimes there's a little bit of slangy stuff going on.
そうだね。アンパンマンもそうだね。
Anpanman is good, yeah. Anpanman, Doraemon. Doraemon might be good. Although Doraemon does have quite a bit of little like slang and stuff in it, so that's one thing to keep in mind. Yokai Watch is probably good. Yokai Watch, because the game was very, very accessible, so I imagine the show is quite accessible as well.
そう、私見てたからかい上手の高木さん結構いいと思う。
からかい上手。高木さん popped up. Windows knows the anime.
これ全部漢字書けますね。
からかい上手の高木さん. Yeah, after this lesson actually we can write every single kanji in this name. からかい上手の高木さん. She likes that one. Those could be good. Hey, Miss Jirka, how's it going?
I tried watching early DBZ episodes. The sound is so muffled, it's hard to understand anything as a beginner. Yeah, same with the original Dragon Ball. We're watching the Dragon Ball series because I've been reading the manga, which is I quite enjoy. But it can be a little bit difficult to hear what they're saying. So you'll probably want the and it's also there's a lot of it's not necessarily super easy for beginners. Oh no, Minami, that sucks.
Oh.
All right, so you guys got those right?
忍たま乱太郎のことかな。違う？カムトゥジャパンさん、忍たま。
Yep, 乱太郎、乱玉。
忍たま乱太郎だよ。
忍たま乱太郎。
そうそう、忍たまの忍は忍者の忍で、最初の忍たまは忍者の卵なんだよ。
I see. I didn't know that one either. So no worries, Dan. What was I gonna say? And my favorite anime is probably, I'd have to say, probably JoJo. I think I like JoJo. I really enjoy Saiki K. That was really fun. But like probably my favorite is JoJo. Although one that like I keep wanting the next one to come out from is what's that Hon? Honga Daisuki. The title's way too long. But it's like a some kid really loves books.
そうだよね。
本好き。
そうだ、本好きの下克上だ。
本好きの下克上。
それだ。
This one. This is one I've really enjoyed lately, although it's certainly not my favorite. One of my very favorites recently is Dorohe Doro. Dorohe Doro. That's one of my favorites.
はいはいはいはい。
Okay. I've watched over 3,000 series and still never watched JoJo. See you later. おやすみ。
あとドラゴンボール最近すごいハマってるじゃん。チョベアさんが。
I gotta go to sleep. Thank you all for the stream.
ね、おやすみ。
おやすみ。なんだって？
最近ドラゴンボール。
I'm really enjoying the manga Dragon Ball. Yeah, I haven't watched the anime enough to be able to say it's my favorite or anything.
あと今期はちょっとだけ見たよね。ダンジョン飯。みんな見てる？
ダンジョン飯？ But I've only watched one episode of that. That might be easy to follow.
そうそうそうそう。なんかその日本のその 2チャンネルみたいなので、そのダンジョン飯は外国人のその声優さんたちもめっちゃ力入れてるらしくて、なんか英語で聞くのも結構面白い。
Oh, it's interesting to watch in English as well because they're putting a lot of effort into it. Okay, that's interesting. I also love Full Metal Panic. Oh, you mean Alchemist? My friend loves JoJo, but I'm such an art snob. I can't get over the style. I hear. The style changes almost every single season quite dramatically, and that bothered me at first. But by the third episode of every single season, I'm so used to the new style that I don't mind. But one of my favorite styles is definitely the one in Moriocho.
So
that's quite. I like the style in that one. Moriocho, third or fourth season.
Jesus Sweet Home 懐かしい。
Okay.
チーズスイートホームっていうそのチーっていう猫が主人公なんですけど、キッズアニメなんだけど、ね。
It's a kids anime about a cat, the main character, and that one might be good for beginners. Says Kelly. She's feeling nostalgic over that one. Nice. All right, let's see what the next card is. I know a bunch of you probably have it prepared.
はい。
I'm not gonna press it yet. Where am I? Am I gonna press it? No? Maybe?
Yes.
Maybe. Just a few more. Here's tall. And pause. Oh, there it is.
もう絶対準備してたでしょ。
もうみんなそうだよ。
みんな準備してる。
Al-Sabi is first. That meets the fishes. Second, Kaylee is in third. Sargumi is in fourth. Come to Japan, Dan is in fifth. Jeeves in sixth. Master Wings in seventh. Rollins in eighth. Five-toed Sloth Bear in ninth. And Morbid Blessing in 10th. Everyone was pretty fast that time. Very good.
ねえ。ちょっともうみんなさこのさジーブあたりまでみんなもうさ私たちがさそのチルで話してる間にこうやってコソコソとさ準備してたでしょ。
そうだろう。だっておばあちゃんもそうしてるよ。See you later, Allie. Have a good one. Sleep well.
はいありがとうございます。おやすみ。
You got it. You got it. Pictograph of a tall Japanese-style building. Think pagoda, except this pagoda's top floor is just a pot lid on the head of a mouth living on the top floor, and the bottom floor is just an overturned box with another mouth living inside, but they're as tall as the expensive buildings around them. Yes, indeed. Well, LOL, you need a second copy of the video that has a different order for the quiz for the live stream. That would be fun. You joke, but I've considered that. I have considered that. Jeev-san, welcome to the ToKini Super Senpuki. Appreciate that. Thank you very much. Yuki, ジーブさんの名前やっ
そうそう、ジー
たこと
ブさんの、
あるよね。
そう、あるんだよ。ジーブさんはね、もう一回。
I think we've done
やった
your name before in kanji. If not, correct us if you're wrong. She can pick other kanji for your name again. She'd probably pick different ones this time.
でも
Or
前
if
回
you
と
give
同
her
じにな
a
っちゃうかもしれ
different
ないから
name,
な。
if you give her a different name that you'd like her to write, that would be great.
うん。
Or it's possible that someone else named. She already made one for me, but can you make one for my name? Yeah, of course.
イェーイ。
Absolutely. Mark.
はい、
Absolutely,
マー
Mark
ク
san.
ね。了解です。
All right. Thank you very much.
ありがとうございます。
Arigato. All right. So next is while she's working on that, I'm going to pick the next two random ones. Let's see what we got here. Oh, this is good. Okay. Here we go. If you make a comment or in the video description, timestamps of when each quiz starts, you can click them to skip to that part to randomize them for us. Well, that's a good idea. That's not a bad idea. I could do something like that. That would be interesting. Although you guys are usually first on this part of the quiz too, so I don't know if how much of a difference it would make. All right, the next kanji are jewel and gate. Jewel and gate.
おー。
Jewel and gate.
なるほどね。
Remember that another meaning for jewel that we learned was ball. Hora, yeah, and meets the fish is in first with that one. Jewel and ball. Stargumi is in second. Come to Japan Dan in third. Kaylee in fourth. Very good. Five-toed sloth bear in fifth. Rollins in sixth. Rollins P. I should say your full name. In sixth. Very good job. The double kanji is quite challenging, eh? Yeah. So I thought this was jewel. So yeah, that is that's the full kanji for jewel. I can't remember. I don't know what I'm gonna change that one to. I might make a gem or something. We haven't covered that one yet, but this one is originally a jewel or a ball. One of the other ones could be one of the other could be the meaning. The reason I didn't use ball for this one is because we'll be covering this as ball. We're gonna learn that as ball. That's the word from yakyu, baseball. So I needed to use one of the other meanings for this kanji so that we have that one safe for ball. Which is more, this one's the most, like this is going to be showing up in words the most common as ball, more so than this one, I feel like. So that's why we chose jewel for this one instead. But you are right, that is also jewel. And then ishi, but that's a word for it, eh? Hai. Houseki da yo ne.
そう。でも宝石でジュール。
Right. The whole word houseki is jewel. Yep.
宝だけ、宝だけだと。
Yeah, it's treasure. That's right. That's what we'll cover. The treasure. That's what we'll be naming the first one in that kanji. I learned time as ball. Makes sense. Yeah. Took me a second to think of a jewel. Always ball comes to mind first. For sure. Yakyu. There it is. Roland's P. Houseki Mon. Houseki Mon? Is that a place name? Or yeah, that sounds like a place name, but I think you're just saying the word jewel or gem and gate. It's funny folks know that one as ball more because jewel is easier for me with that one. I see it as a king holding a jewel. Yeah, I think that's what that's one of the stories I use as well. I remember it as jewel thanks to Pokemon's Kin no Tama. Golden balls.
3000円で売れるんですよ。
You can sell them for 3,000 yen. Yeah, the item, eh?
So,
Golden balls. In English known as
大事なんですよ。
family jewels. Yes. So random. Good story, Kaylee. I will remember it that way. All right. Let's see what we got
はい
next.
あ、
Oh, wait.
マー
Yuki
ク
was
さ
fast
ん
today.
はい、マークさん出来上がり
Mark,
ました。
here's your name. Thank you so much for becoming a member of the ToKini
はい、
Senpuki.
ありがとうございます。はい、
Hi,
マークさん。マークで3文字にしました。
All right, 3 characters for that
は
one.
い。で、マークのマは真実の真っていう字で、
And the first,
マ
the
と読みます。
the
はい
kanji for ma
うん
is the kanji for truth.
そう、誠とか書いて、
うん
まって読みます。で、このあっていう字はあるっていう字なんですけど、私の言うと同じ字で、
So this is the same kanji as the first
So-
one in Yuki's name. And it means to have.
そう。で、この部分が
Or to
あ
exist.
に、
うん
うん、あにしたいと思います。
Okay, so that's ma.
で、くは今日やったこの空っていう字なんですけど、
Yeah, and ku is the one we learned today for
Mm.
sky.
はい、それでマークにしてみました。
Having truth in the sky.
うん。
Or a truth having sky. Very nice.
ちょっとかっこいいじゃ
Yeah,
ない
pretty
ですか。
cool. All All right. Thank you again, Mark. Appreciate
はい、ありがとうございます。
that. Hi. All right. Popping back over to here. Thank you very much. And then there's Sky. Speaking of Sky, Alasabi is in first with N Meets the Fish in second, Kaylee in third, Come to Japan Dan in fourth, and Stargumi in fifth place. Jeeve is in
はい、
sixth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
Neat.
6. Roland's in seventh. Five Toes Sloth Bear in eighth. Morbid Blessing in ninth. And Come to Japan writes out Maku in
はい、
10th. Very good job. Nice. Let's see it.
なんか本当に日本人にいそうこの
Oh, yeah, I could see that name in Japanese for sure.
ね。
Japanese person's name. Mark-kun. Although I haven't heard the name Mark in Japanese yet, but I could see it. The kanji at least. All right, there it is. I'm not going to read that whole story. You know, it's about the flatness of the planet. Indeed. All right, let's see what our next set of 2 words. We're going to have Yuki pick these ones out. Thank you.
Hi.
Your mouth character is my favorite thing in existence. I love the mouth character as well. I think he's so cute. Thank you very much, Bedora.
ありがとうございます。はい、2個聞きますよ。
Now here comes our next 2. You ready?
はい、
It'd be funny if this was foot and mouth, but it's left foot.
はい。
Left foot. Oh, that's a word. There's a word. If it was the
私すごい。
if it was the other order, it would not be a word, but this is a word. There it is. There it is.
素晴らしい。
There it is. Alasabi in first. That meets the fish in second. Phineas in third. Kaylee in fourth. Jeeve in
惜しい、
fifth.
ジーム。
Roland's
惜しい。
P in sixth. Five Toed Sloth Bear in seventh. Stargumi in eighth. Very good job. Oh, mate.
そう、
got
ジームさんは
Ah,
左
Seki ga detekita.
石に
Ah,
な
that
っ
one
てしまい
slipped
ます。
right past me. So close. Hi, Alasabi first. And Meets the Fish second. Phineas third. Kaylee in fourth. Roland's in fifth. Five Toes Sloth Bear in sixth. Stargumi in seventh. Come to Japan Dan in eighth. Morbid Blessing in ninth. I chose the wrong one. Yes, indeed. Not bad, though. All good. Hi, so yes,
惜
it's
しかった。
you would read this one as hidariashi.
はい。
Hidariashi. Left foot.
すごくない？私ちゃんと
Yeah,
さ、
you keep
ね、ワー
randomly
ド
picking words.
そう、こうやって選ばなくてもね。
And Five Toed Sloth Bear with our English kanji for this one. Very nice.
あ、いいですね。わかりやすいですね。
Hidari ashi. All right. Not giving
Finally,
anyone
we
any
have
time here.
Behind.
Behind. I did hidari ishi. Ah, I see. Okay. Ato tsukeru. Oh! Alasabi gets there with in first place. So that meets the fish in second. Kaylee in third. Sarugumi in fourth. Phineas in fifth. Come to Japan Dan Ato de in sixth place with Five Toes Sloth Bear in seventh.
はい。
Very nice job there, guys. We can go ahead and take a look. We'll give a few other people a moment. Morbid Blessing gets there
Hi.
in eighth. Indeed. Roland's P in ninth. Good job, guys.
素晴らしいな、みんな。
Radio voice for today's stream. I don't have a radio
なん
voice.
かアンディがそうやってさ、なんかちょっとフェイントしてもすぐ。
Nah. I tried. Tried to do a feint. Ando-san was going in the race, but he was just a small thread late, so he was behind the winner. All right, let's see Yuki's next random one. Or
Hi.
I get, Yuki can do two because I did two in a row.
どっちでもいいよ。
I did two in a row last time. Ushido. Cow roll.
いいですね。かわいい。
Sounds like sushiro.
それは寿司プレイスです
くさ
ね。
All
は
right,
い、いき
let's
ます
see what we
よ。
got.
おー
This. You're looking at the English. It looks like it could be a word, but it's not.
はい、いきますよ。
All right, here we go. Tree
と
woman. Tree woman.
惜しいね。
Tree woman.
3じゃないなね。
Three women
だね
would have worked out, I guess. Phineas gets there in first place. Alasabi in second. And Meets the Fish in third. Come to Japan Dan in fourth. Kaylee in fifth place. Stargumi in sixth. Five Toes Sloth Bear in seventh. Jeeve in eighth. Very good job. The Tree Women. Roland's in ninth. And Chaz, welcome to the quiz, in 10th. Morbid
Hi.
Blessing in 11th. And Come to Japan says Kijo. I think. Kijo. Yeah, like a tree. ね、木上かな。木上。
ねえ、どうですかね。なんかさ、それさ、
Like a mandrake, but a woman
確
drake.
かにね、
Yeah.
私はね、あれだと思ったスプリガン。
A spriggan. Ah, yeah, spriggan. You think spriggan like the type of tree woman
うん。
in Elder Scrolls.
それってエルダースクロールだけの言葉
Spriggan, I'm not sure. A dryad is what they're based
dryad
on.
かね。確かに。
More like entwife. Oh, yeah, the entwife. There you go.
Ah!
You get the entwives. Although I guess you'd probably use the kanji for wife there, eh? So, ki, wife, tsuma. There's the entwives.
確かに。
Right there. That would probably be entwives. We call Spriggan's angry salad when we have to eat something to keep werewolf form. Nice. I've never played a werewolf. I don't know how to play them, but that's kind of funny. I didn't know you could use them for that. Angry salad. All right, let's go ahead and let this play out. Let us know how many you got right down in the comments. You can learn the next 5 kanji by clicking here
If the
video is already out. If you don't want to wait, you can continue learning with our level 1 kanji flashcard deck for Anki on ToKiniAndy.com. We're also releasing kanji series videos early for all the members there, so check it out if you want a head start. There it is. There it is. Thank you very much, guys.
す
Yuki,
ごくない？こんなにさ。
you can't see it on camera. You can
こん
drop,
なに
put it down here.
熱いよ。ほら。
That's all the cards. That's all the kanji we've learned so far.
ね。
That is a pile. Oh wait, that's not even all of them. Hold on, you
So,
forgot
so.
these.
ね、この種類のね、カードがね、なくなっちゃったんですよ。
We're out of this kind of card.
そうで、だからね、途中からね、種類が変わ
They're
る。
gonna change next
変わっ
week.
ちゃうん
Or
ですけ
maybe we
ど。
should go buy some more of these.
ね。
That could work. That's funny. Yuki, do you enjoy that would have worked, Jess. Do you enjoy Taco Bell?
タコベル？うん。私タコ好きだからね、タコベル。
She likes tacos. So yeah, she likes Taco Bell. I like Taco Bell. We get it once in a while when we go to Tokyo. Or maybe when I say once in a while, I should probably say once. We got it once when we went to
No
went to
one
Tokyo.
enjoys タコベルとか
No
言
one
って。
enjoys Taco
ど
Bell.
うしたどうした
Makoto Ayamani-san.
どうしたんだ
I don't know about that. I quite enjoy the cheesy gordita crunch. Need an Easter basket now. Yeah, we should get one of those. We've been getting a few comments on
Okay.
it's about time to quit the pumpkin.
あ、ニーダーイースターバケツのだよね。
We
そう
do
だ
need
よ
an
ね
Easter basket.
これを黄色に塗るか。
She's gonna paint it yellow. And I don't think that makes it an Easter basket. I've never had Taco Bells. None where I live in Canada. Well. There's only 1 or 2 in this country, in Japan. So we just Tokyo. We got it once or twice when we were in the States. This last time we went to the States, we did not get it. But I love the kanji kabocha.
これでしょ？漢字かぼ
Like,
ちゃ。
the kanji kabocha.
こ
Yeah,
れ
okay,
漢字
okay,
か
okay.
ぼちゃでしょ？
I see what you're talking about.
なんかちょうどいいんだよね、これさ。
We're gonna need a bigger pumpkin. That is also true. Yeah, it's gonna get
確かに。
it's gonna get bigger and bigger and bigger. It's gonna like the random kanji. We're gonna have to do like a four at a time to make it like an actual review soon. 2 is not enough. We can only cover 10 extra kanji, which means we're covering 15. If we did 4, we could cover what 20, 25. That'd be nice.
うんうん。
Taco beru ga suki desu, says
Oh.
Maru Blessing. Just put bunny ears in the pumpkin and make a pumpkin rabbit. That could work.
確かにね。ほら、いい感じだよね。この、ほらもうこれがさ、このなんかストラップみたいなものをさ、うまく切っ
あそうだね
てここ
you
に
could-
つければね。こうどう
You
です
can't
か
really see
ね
it, but yeah, it would work.
これ。
It always
これね
puzzles me when there's such good food in a place like Japan and people eat McDonald's and Taco Bell, but I envy that you had Gojira burgers at. Yeah, we don't eat fast food pretty much ever anymore. The closest to fast food we ever eat is like a sushi bowl. There's a place
そうだね。
nearby us that
そう。
does like, you know, sashimi on top of rice,
うんうん。
sushi rice.
あ、あれだよね。なんかポキ。
I guess you call it a poke bowl, yeah. Poke bowl?
うん
Poke bowl?
そうそう。
I think that's what you call
そ
it
れ
in the
だ。
States. That's probably the closest thing to
Mm.
fast food we eat. And I guess kaiten sushi. So like conveyor belt sushi. I guess
Mm.
that's sort of fast food. Curry House Koko Ichiban is my favorite go-to cheap meals in Japan. Yeah, that's not bad. I haven't had that in years though.
ココイチ、まあ私たちはココイチと呼んでるんですけど、ココイチってこの近くにある？ないよね。
There
ある
used to be one over by Kitajo where we used to do the omikoshi. That's the only one I ever went to. We don't have one super close by though. No.
うーん
Yeah, like the thing with something like kokoichi is if we're gonna get curry out, there's way better like not to say authentic, but like mom and pop shops that do curry,
うんうんうん
like closer to us and that costs pretty much the same.
うん
That's the crazy thing here is that Like you go to a restaurant that is like an actual restaurant that's run by like, you know, just a dude that lives next door to the house. It's the same price as if you were to go to McDonald's. So there's like no reason to go to McDonald's. Last time we went to McDonald's like 4 years ago, I was sick for like 2 days.
ねえ。
I just can't do it
マ
anymore.
ックに行くよりマウンテンキューに行った方が
Oh
近い。
yeah, if I go to the Hawaiian burger place, it's closer. I think. Well, no, maybe the same distance as McDonald's.
だけど
But you get like
そっちの
3
方が
times as
さ
much for the same or half
チ
the
ー
price.
パーだよ
Yeah, I
ね。
think it might be
チ
cheaper.
ーパーとか
So good.
リーズナブルです。
Mountain Q guys, if you're ever in Nagano,
Mm.
hit up Mountain Q and tell him that ToKini Andy sent you. I know I'm friends with the guy. We play poker together.
ねえ。それできるのかな。ちょっとさ、キューちゃんにさお願いしてみようよ。なんかそのシークレットコードで時にアンディを見てきましたっていう人はなんかコーヒーチケットを私たちが買ってあげられるみたいな。
We'll tell if you ever go to Mountain Q in Nagano City, tell the owner that ToKini Andy sent you, and we'll make a deal with him that you get like a free coffee or something or a free drink with your meal or something
ね
that we'll pay for you.
どういいじゃん。
We'll have to try that
いいじゃ
out.
ないですか。
We have to go visit. Although we'll see him in a couple days, or like a week or two. To be fair, most places in America have good mom and pop eateries too, and we still all choose fast food. Yeah, I hear you. Diners, man. Diners.
ファーストフードってさ、でもチクフィレは美味しいよね。
Yeah, it was good, but we only ever went there once.
まあそうだね。
So
うん。
don't forget that the fast food outside NA has better ingredients most are banned in other places. Yeah, that's true. Well, I'm hungry now, says Jeeve. Me too. I haven't eaten anything today. It's 1 o'clock. Most definitely, all the chemicals are illegal everywhere else except the USA. One of the reasons I'm not trying to run back there anytime soon. Damn, now I want a burger, says Come to Japan Dan. Off to Nagano, I guess. Yes, indeed. Get up here.
イエーイ。そう、めっちゃね、リーズナブルプライスだよね。もうオルモストセイマーズマクドナルドじゃない？プライスが。
I mean, if you think about the amount you get, it's yeah.
そうだすね。そうだすね。とか。
Anyway, all right, guys. Well, happy Kanji Times Day.
そう、漢字タインズデーだよ、みんな。Be my 漢字タイン。
Be my kanji. Will you be my kanji time? Yes, indeed. We will be. Next week is lesson 21. We are so close to the end. This afternoon, I'm going to be filming the first words video, which I've scripted. I think I've got a good structure for it. I think it'll be worth doing. I was worried at first that maybe it wouldn't be worth doing a words video series, but I think they might be fun. So be filming that today, and I'll be starting the edit so that I can show Dan what I want with that edit and passing it off to him. So he'll be editing those as well, hopefully. Thank you, sir.
Hi.
You're very welcome, Morbid Blessing. You're welcome, Alsavi. Thanks for hanging out.
ね
Happy Kanji Times, says Kaylee. Thank you.
え、本当だよ。
Bring on the words, says Meets the Fish. Thank you for these videos. You're very welcome. Tavakins Turner. Thank you for stopping by.
ありがとうございます。
Have a good day, you too. I'll go grab a bite, then sleep. Sounds good, Jeeves. Mark, thank you for becoming a member again. Appreciate that.
ありがとうございます。
All right, guys, we'll have a wonderful week,
うん。
and we will see you hopefully next week for lesson 21.
もう21か。
Ne?
すごい
We've
ね。
crossed 100, actually.
そうだよね。
I think today we crossed 100 kanji.
やったー。
Whoa! That's cool. I didn't even realize that. We crossed out. So, like, cheers in chat for all of
イ
you.
エーイ。
Great job. Hit the firecracker, whatever those things are. In
漢
the
字タインズ
Awesome.
やります
we
ね。
the kanji times all crossed 100 kanji today. My goodness. Nice.
あ、漢字アインズの方がいいか
100.
な。
Yeah, that's it. You gotta hit the 100. Woo!
やったー。
Nice. Yeah, 21 is 5, 22 is 5, and 23 is 16. So we
そうだよ
102.
ね。
We had 102 today.
すごい。
102 kanji. Woo woo!
もう100は最初のうちにやったもんね。みんな書けるわ。
Yeah, you can already write 100. Yep. Nice job. All right. That's
Hi.
exciting. All right,
素
let's
晴
get
ら
into
し
it.
いね。
All right, guys. Well, have a great week, and we will see you
はい。
next week.
そうですね。
I have nothing left to say. All right.
そうだよね。NEXT week だよね。はい。
Hi. All right, guys. Thank you, and have a great one.
はい。
せーの。
また次のビデオで会いましょうね。はい。See you guys. Thank you.
はい
Happy 漢字タイズデー。
漢字タイズデー。
バイバイ。
ちょっと迷っちゃった。
そうだね。
ハッピー。
そう、ハッピーからちょっと迷っちゃった
そう
って。
ハッピー漢字タイズデー。
はい、バイバイ。